example, aggression, right? You can get aggressive, you can make aggressive plays, but there are times when you should not be, empirically should not be doing it. And yet we'll see these teams do that again and again in situations when they should know that it's not time to get aggro.
Oh, he's in mid. He's been completely caught off guard. Oh, flying. That was a tasty little shot. He's looking good today. He had a questionable performance in their last match. I think that was why they actually lost, because one thing that I have come to rely on in this team is flying. Like, I like him. Solid individually. Decision-making normally pretty good as well. Good player. CsGo, we'll wait and see. It depends on the day. He's in a good position here, though. Lines up the first, and even going to get the second as well. Nice couple of shots. Hasn't had much to do thus far in this game. And they will stop the buy of Huatsai. And while... Yeah, Destroyer's probably...
Oh, wait, did you just say that?
I don't know.
Huatsai!
It sounds so great.
Energetic.
The buy of Huatsai. It sounded wonderful. I couldn't resist. But yeah, I think Destroyer is the biggest offender of the play that shouldn't be made. Like, he is... Well, it's become a meme on this stream that I'm a big fan of his, and the truth is I am not. I mean, solid individual player, but it's like these rounds. I get that, like, you got a kill. You're like, what do you mean, Tommy? Got a kill. This is a round against pistols. Like, if he gives that rifle away, that's silly. It's a round that's not really necessary, but he likes to pad his stats.
And CsGo is just jumped
and
down.
They have both died.
They're losing a lot of money. Losing a lot of money for no reason. And yeah, they've got stacked up economy, but if they do that a couple more times, they won't. 7-2 in the lead, I guess they're just seeing confidence. But I actually thought of something there. It's like, so Destroyer is the guy, you know, in those workplace tutorial videos that they give you when you start a new job, and they're like, you know, say it's a building site, and there'll be someone that's like doing
don't
construction.
Eat the pesticide.
It's like a guy doing a construction job without a hard hat on, and then like a brick falls on his head, and all that sort of stuff. And they're like, oh, well, he should have been wearing a hat, and all that. I feel like that's Destroyer. He's actually just making one of those videos right now.
Yeah, but except like 9 times out of 10, the brick will hit him, and then he'll get $1 million or something like that. That's how that works. Like that's what's frustrating, is that he gets away with it an awful lot. This round's looking much better though. A couple of entries. Here comes Destroyer running in from behind. He's shooting at nothing, but eventually he does get the kill onto Ronin, baby. That's an important man to take down. Although he hasn't had the best of starts to this game. 3 and 9, and normally someone that they can heavily rely on. Keep coming back in from flying. A bit of a whiff, and that's going to give Spiels an extra kill. Destroyer, the last man left alive. I haven't said that too many times over the past week, and well, it's not going to last long at all. Huatsai, they've got their 3rd round on the board. I'll be honest, though, and this may sound like a pretty bold claim, I think 7 rounds is already enough for Invictus. Like, obviously, the momentum that would be caused if they did just lose the remaining 5 rounds in a row probably would mean that there's a good chance that Huatsai could take this. But if we went into the end of the half and it had been a bit more back and forth and it had been 8-7, I think Invictus would do enough on the T side, in all honesty.
I think so. I agree with you there for sure. I believe their T side is going to be much stronger, just because of the individuals that they've got. You know, actually, on the subject of getting hit by the brick and winning $1 million, there was a really just stupid story I heard before about how in America, I'll cut a long story short, woman shot her husband because they were messing around playing Russian roulette but didn't check if the gun was loaded. And so she sued the gun company because on the box it didn't say check if the gun is loaded, even though the gun doesn't come loaded. You have to load it yourself. You have to buy bullets separately and load it. But it didn't say on the box, before using, check that it's loaded. And so she got millions of dollars off the gun company.
Imagine how much stuff you have to write now. Like, don't eat the gun. Like, I don't know. It just, don't put it in your mouth. Like, it's just silly. But whatever. Everything has to be idiot-proof nowadays. Bottle, exactly. He's getting aggressive. He's got to be careful because there is still Neff lurking around in middle. The Molotov's going to go down. CsGo peeks out on the edge of the smoke. He's only going to get 1, but he has Destroyer. Hold on to the cross. A kill coming out from the AWP. I assume that means that there was a smoke missed. because that seemed like he got that kill from CT. Otto re-aggresses, spotted out by Neff and loses the duel. Maybe slightly unnecessary peek, and in fact another player in Viva's gone down as well. They're taking risks that are completely unnecessary, and now the smokes have fallen properly this time. The T's are going to be able to cross to the site. Flying, trying his best, will get one back, and the second shot is clean. And in fact, that is everybody done and dusted. It will be an 8th round for Flying. I'm just going to say for Flying.
Trump's got COVID. Oh, deserved. So, for Invictus, you know, the spot that they're at, as you said, Tom, 7's already enough.
What is that? Where were the smokes?
If at first you don't succeed, swing, swing, swing again. Just keep on looking for it. We saw this yesterday as well. Nuke continuously peeking outside without smokes for the cross. Although Tiger were doing that as well. But, I don't know. Some of these decisions, I guess sometimes they just feel it, right? They're like, you know what, I'm a god. I'm gonna swing, I'm gonna kill everybody. Easy. And then it is not easy.
Oh my god, completely blind. Corrects the spray even to get the second. You gotta go back for more. Otto feeling confident. I can see why. I guess this is the opponent that has not won a single map. What was the point? You've walked into that corner and then reloaded. They know you're there, mate. They know you're in the corner. He's still gonna get the kill. That's funny to me. That's really, because I'd see a lot of people do that in like this is gonna sound like an insult to him, but like really like sort of low level matchmaking games where you just like, or they're just a player who's just bad. Like they're like, I will walk all this way, and then they reload their gun. You're like, you know that makes a sound, dude. That was pointless. You might as well have jumping runned over there and made as much sound as humanly possible. But hey, he gets away with it. They still don't kill him, even though they know he's there. He's managed to get a triple spray down. Nice round in the end for Bottle. But yeah, this made me giggle. The fact that he still gets away with the kill and even gets a 4th. There you go. Not bad, right?
Not a terrible round. I mean, look, I do it pretty much every day, but some people, I suppose they'd consider that an exceptional one. Destroyer, he's opened this one up. It's just Deagles, just the Deggles. I don't imagine, you know, for Huatsai, it can't be easy to be in this situation. Yeah, they're getting a couple kills here and there, and look at the scoreline of 9-3, and then look at Invictus's money. It is trash. But this late, I don't see it really mattering that much, Tom. I mean, the spot for Huatsai is that they've won the pistol round, they've won a full eco, they've won one round since. That's not great. This round, I mean, it's Bulbasaur. He's got 2 kills already. He might do it. He might pull it off, make up for yesterday. This would be huge. This would be them in with a chance to get 9-6. I'd love to see that. The flank is too good. Destroyer picks him up anyways. Eve was about to come up behind him. They save a double up setup, and I guess this is the game that we expected to see.
Yeah, I appreciate your optimism, but unless there was like some serious whiffage coming out from Destroyer, that was never going to be a thing. And yeah, he's been having a fun time. That's the thing. I feel like Huatsai and Invictus don't match up because Invictus make a lot of crazy plays, and so do Huatsai. So they're just clashing on an individual level, and Invictus are going to win that game. I think it's been the teams with a little bit more depth to their tactics that have been able to cause them problems because they set each other up with utility, which is something that even Invictus don't really do. So this is basically the perfect matchup for Invictus. So if they were to lose it, even a map, well, we'd be looking at them again in shock, but we've already had that a couple of times. Viva about to be pressured into middle. Huatsai decided against it. They're going to be spamming a through shot, a few shots through. Wow, English is hard, especially early in the morning. With a minute left, They've switched things up in towards short. They've got to be really careful because they don't actually have any smokes or Xbox or anything. So this cross is actually relatively risky, but they'll get away with it. Now the smoke's going to fall over. CsGo in position. Doesn't have much support here, so there is potential. But he likes to play these sort of headshot angles. He's going to jump over the top of the smoke. Oh, that's one of the boldest plays I think I've ever seen a player make.
For Invictus, man disadvantaged. They got to try to get back in. They haven't got great money, though, as we were saying. Yeah, this is what stops you from going for a retake, but with that kill, surely they're going to go for this. See a player... Okay. I don't know where Destroyer was going there. He was just on a little bit of a tour. Running in towards the tunnels. Destroyer's down below. It's an easy kill. This should be a save now from the CT side. Almost definitely Viva picks up another, but Bottle falls. And, oh, so Destroyer's not going for this, but Viva is. What's Destroyer doing? Like, what? Your teammate's pushing the site, man.
They've all.
Ah, that was weird. You know, I feel like the Tom... I'm getting thrown back. Nostalgia of my my school days. Because I went to school with a guy, and he was with this girl. And we all told him, you know, she ain't the one, Chief. You know, you gotta move on. You gotta move past it. She ain't great. He wouldn't listen. And she cheated on him. And then she cheated on him again. And she cheated on him again. And I'll tell you what, the fourth time, he was still surprised. He's like, oh, she cheated on me. Like, bro, come on. You know, at this stage, you know what you're getting into. I feel like that's us with this region of Counter-Strike. We're like, I know what's going to happen. And then we still get surprised. We still get surprised every time when mad stuff happens. I feel like we're turning into Dave.
I really hope his name isn't Dave. It's not the most Irish name in the world.
Dave O'Shea.
Yeah, I believe it now.
Dave's just dummy.
Looks pretty bleak. Flying fell early. A little bit of a mistake with the jump. CsGo, there's no way he's getting him with that AWP. And yeah, the only other player with a weapon is going to be Destroyer. And somehow, yeah, Viva just played Deeg. Just play Deeg, man. He gets 3 kills on a retake with a Deagle. Should have sent him in first. Probably would have won that round. Nice attempt, but it is ultimately going to be a 5th round coming up for Huatsai. As said, though, like I wanted to see more from them on the T side. The big shock for me is Ronan is having a rough one. 3 kills, and I'm pretty sure I said it fairly early in the half that he only had 3 kills. Hasn't had one since, and well, I think if he was having a better game here, they could even be in the lead.
Yeah, I've never seen Ronan really have that rough of a time, and I think for Huatsai in general, they're sweating more than Trump right now. This has got to be a pretty tough position to play from. 5 rounds on the board, pistol round. Well, at least that's their forte, right? This is something that they can do pretty well. We'll see if this is going to be the round win, or if it's going to be pretty much RIP on the half. The spray by Splashka, he's getting nothing done. Tapping away on the USP, but he's only finding ankles, and eventually he gets taken down, but there's a gap in the smoke. No one's paying attention to it. Neff's able to pick up one. He's walking through, and they just don't give a damn. And so many angles to cover there, though, with short and long being pushed. And for Huatsai, 6 rounds on the board. That was an essential round win.
Oh, it is going to be 10-6. Aren't you going to see an investment from CsGo? The rest of the team seemingly a little bit more hesitant to buy into this round. In fact, what is this? Why have 2 of them not bought? I'm so confused with the decision making that comes out from Invictus. It's genuinely like, from an overview perspective, it's like watching a game of matchmaking. Like, two players force, the other goes, why are you force? I am going to buy AK next round. Like, that's what I'm looking at right now. Like, with Viva, I can understand it, because he wants to potentially save up for an AWP. But, like, other than that, I don't get it. And then the funny thing is, he's probably going to be the one to do the most damage, because he's always that beast with the D. They're going to get a bomb plant, Mitch. They're probably going to get a buy in the next round. if not win this one. Oh dear,
that was
Spiels.
close.
This is getting a little bit scary, but they've killed off Viva, so all danger gone. And yeah, now we have an even weirder scenario where they get a decent amount of loss bonus plus a bomb plant. So who are they? Like Viva has enough for an AWP, and then the other players don't have enough for rifles unless they go Galils. This is just, I'm just confused.
Ridiculous. By the way, Tom, one of my friends has 5.1 hours played in Star Wars Squadrons.
Okay.
Came out 6 hours ago. The hell is that?
Hey, dedication.
I wish I was that dedicated. Although I suppose we're going to be here for like 10 hours, so it wouldn't make sense to stay up all night.
I've done that before with game launches. I just stayed up and then just gone to bed when I get tired if I'm not doing anything.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Depends what the game is. If I'm excited for it.
I don't like the decision of Eva to just run through the doors. It somehow managed to net them a 1-for-1 trade, but
oh no! Oh, I want to see that from his POV.
He was blind as well. Like 2 kills is great in a round like that. They had nothing but the Eagles. Chesake was like 1 HP in that cubby. I feel like it's even better from the CT's perspective, though, because it's like, oh, that's a guaranteed kill, and then he dies. And I could just see him smashing his desk straight away.
Well, if checkmate have taught us anything, that's not a very good idea. What's I back in this one, though? 10-8, 2 rounds of the difference. We've started to see some sloppy mistakes and some weird decisions being made by Invictus. Do you know what the most infuriating thing is, Mitch? Viva didn't buy an AWP. But why did he...
Why, yeah.
Why did he save all that cash?
What was the point? Why not force up fully with your teammates and have that extra bit to play off of? I don't know. I don't know, Tom. But as I said, I feel like we're just becoming Dave here.
Confused.
She's cheated on me again. Like it doesn't line up. You know, we know what we're here for. We know what we need to expect. All of our friends have told us you do Nation Counter-Strike. That ain't gonna end well, buddy.
That's the bomb.
You know?
The bomb.
Again, you know, Tom, don't be Dave. Don't be surprised. You know what you're getting into here. But it is still heartbreaking when you see her with Roger for the 7th time.
It's not heartbreaking. It's brain breaking. Like we need a new thing. It's brain breaking because like my heart ain't in this. But like my heart checked out a long time ago. They can't win this round. They gave them the bomb within the first like minute. Oh my god, Viva's bringing it back. It's left all on to Flying. Flying just got a kill with a Molotov. And that both players are low. Both players low. He's got the bomb. He's going to run away.
This round.
He's retreating. Planting this. He doesn't know he's behind him. Oh, he doesn't know he's behind him.
He's heard him because Ronan started legging it. He started running like a lunatic. Flying's going to get the plant. He's got a head peek as well. He's going to... No, you're going to the one place where he can head peek you. I suppose they can both head peeking away, but he's going to go up higher and Ronan Baby luckily gets away with it. Oh, jeez. That one would have... That one would have been ridiculous for What's-Eye to lose. I mean, like, you get the bomb handed to you.
That round hurt my soul.
Yeah.
What's left of it, at least. Oh. What's-Eye? They're up to 9. They're still pulling this one back. Like, this is a fairly decent streak of rounds as well. Like, this was a 10-3 scoreline. We're now 10-9. So they've won 6 rounds in a row. Granted, they switched halves in between, but even still. Feels is going to get away with a cheeky frag, but the push through long has worked out for now. There's still 2 more players they have to deal with. Neff's position does make me a little bit uncomfortable because he's just hiding behind the smoke. His teammate's gone down.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Okay, they've checked it at least, and they get the spray back through the smoke. It's not terrible. You end up in a 1v3. This should be winnable. It's Ronan Baby. He's looking to up those kills a little bit. Those are rookie numbers, certainly for Ronan Baby. He's going to go around to long. You know, most players I would have said, oh, it looks like he might be saving on this one when he started running towards tunnels, but I know Ronan Baby. but he's going to run into an AWP. And it's a miss! Flying! He goes down now, 1v1. This is winnable. Coming up through long. Bottle has got all the info to play with, though, and no idea for Ronan Baby. Oh, the swing and the kill. That was close, though.
Yeah, that was a nice attempt. Unfortunately, that is the break of the chain, and Invictus will get themselves further into the lead. Their money's questionable. Luckily for them, their opponent's money is worse. So it's going to be a fairly awkward position for Huatsai. They lost a fair few players to the pistols over the last few rounds, and yeah, to have a half start of what, 3-4 rounds in a row and not really make any cash is relatively disappointing. They're going to come in with a double scout and some deagles. This is a round that I definitely think they could win with this sort of investment if there are some mistakes made. And considering they know that this should be some sort of force buy, a fast play into the B site definitely has its risks. And see setup being there. Scout shot completely blind is going to net one. They need to clear the man from the corner. They still haven't cleared him. It's falling apart, Mitch. They've got 4 kills, 5 kills. Just 2 of them. What? I'll be taking I'll be taking commissions on my clairvoyance going forward. If you would like to have your future read, please send 5,000 yen to Tom. There you go.
Just gone with yen because it's the more like mystical one.
I just went with yen because we're doing an Asian tournament.
That makes more sense, yeah. So most of the like
a little bit more topical.
Yeah.
I don't know how much that is. How much is 5,000? Because I was going to say dollars, and then I was like, that's a lot of money. So I just said yen. In euros. It's 40 euros. That's not bad for a reading.
Oh my god, that's
I'll take it. I'll take 40 euros. Roughly what I'd charge, I think.
I remember my Steam thing, I just logged in one day and it was in yen, but I didn't realize, and I was like, what? And then I saw the little Y. It was insane. Games were 10,000 and something, but they were all quite cheap. I bought a load of games that day. Steam messed up.
Oh, Splash K. He's going to get one. Now, this is the Pistols again. They've had both teams have had some severe issues versus the Pistols. Every time they go short, they get a bomb plant, pretty much. Viva, please just plant the bomb. Please. Thank you. We got there in the end. They are going to lose this round, though. Oh, though, Viva, that's a nice shot. Bottle, he gets there in the end as well. Again, they make things a little bit more costly, but the scoreline is going to be equalized. Like it's been a weird one because I don't feel like Huatsai have actually made a massive turnaround and like they're stringing rounds together, but they are. It's just a lot of them are weird rounds by Invictus or weird economy decisions. You have to take into consideration that Huatsai have won both pistols. Granted, the one in the last half didn't necessarily go too well. So they've definitely padded this game a bit, but Invictus, this is a classic Invictus map, basically. Like, have it in the bag, be winning 10-3, and then start making silly, unnecessary mistakes, over-aggressive pushes, and just bad decisions altogether. If we speak about the Tai Lu coach, I can't imagine, like, the Invictus coach must be in a straitjacket at this point. That's the only acceptable. Does he exist? That's the question.
Oh, he must do.
Wikipedia. Do they have a coach? Invictus. They do. His name is Spinach.
Oh, well, let's hope he's good for them. You see 11-11. There's going to be a lot of work to be done over there in the coaching side and this T side. Invictus, they've given Huatsai the way back in, and now it's time to really stop them in their tracks. And Ronan, he's wrecked them. Bobo comes through the smoke kill on the way. What? Hello? What kind of drugs is Bobasaur doing? He's just ran through the smoke by himself. That doesn't make sense.
And
that was stupid. That was just straight stupid. 4v3, you've players up towards the site, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna just run through this smoke. No.
He's a genius. He calculated it in his head, and it worked.
It was so dumb that it caught his opposition off guard. But, like, look at this. He reloads, 4v3, and just runs in. No flashes, nothing.
I guess the rest of his team
site.
were already up on car. So I guess in his eyes, he's going to hell. Going to hell. Well, they are in the lead. Botsai have taken the lead on the CT side. I didn't believe in their CT side of this map. I was expecting the T side to be the be-all and end-all, and Invictus proving me wrong at this point. Ronan Baby has had a slight step up. He was 3-12. He's now 14-15. So a comeback of sorts from him. The more confident he gets, the more dangerous he gets. Fact is, though, there's been other players performing for them as well. Neff having a good game. Here we go. It's going to be another short push. Now, they've got the bomb down almost every single time they push short. That's been something that has been a huge success for Invictus. The problem is their afterplants have been poor. Most of the time they've done this with pistols, but here comes the push. The Molotov will hold Bulbasaur back. Are they going to check Goose? No. No, that's a surprise. It's still only going to be a trade, though. Flying brings it back. Ronan's going to get hit very quickly, though. I don't know if they're going to be expecting it. There is no one watching the ramp, and he's going to spray down 3 players. He thinks it's done, though. There's still another one. There's still another one.
I'll just let Tom recover a little bit mentally from that one. I mean, so well played. I feel bad for him. Hey, we got Bulbasaur up on the board. 18 enemies killed, doing a little bit better than yesterday. And it hammers home the point I was making when we saw him 0-17, which was that he's not a terrible player. He was just dog awful yesterday. Like, as I said, he was having probably the worst game I'd seen, like, in terms of drop-off. Like, knowing that a player is capable of playing. It's not like he's the best player I've ever seen, but he's decent. I don't have any...
They're just going to go short again. Why is the bomb in top mid?
Yeah. That smoke's faded by the time he even gets down middle as well. That's...
Yeah, a little bit lucky that no one really aggressively faces into that position. Here we go. They're going to go for the same again. Why not? As said, they get an afterplant position pretty much every single time they go in this direction. It's not been clean, though. And they keep, like, for example, in the last round, there were 4 players on the site. No one watching T-Ramp. Like, this is silly. That's very, very silly. So, here we go. Bulbasaur, Molotov out. Player jumps into CT, dies. And Bottle... They've actually switched things up. They've jumped down, switched the direction. CsGo with an entry onto the site. This will allow them to get a bomb plant. And an after plant position here. Definitely not going to be too viable. Beaver takes the peek. Actually decides not to re-peek. Well done. You get a sticker. And now, going to hold in towards... tunnels. Nice shot from Viva. Crossfire working out, and CsGo is going to close with both. Invictus, they strike back, taking a 13th round onto the board, and unfortunately, once again, Botsai just don't have the money.
That 3v3 retake, considering the money that they had in the next round, I suppose they didn't want to play with 2 weaker weapons, but I was really urging them to save in my head when I saw that, and obviously running into the B site is never easy. To connect anything, even when you've got that utility to play off of and you've got players coming in from tunnels as well. It's just that little bit too difficult the majority of the time, and that's what we saw. As they crumble, it is just pistols for Watsai, as you said. There's no money, and they stacked up B. I was a little bit worried seeing Bottle standing outside of B early on. However, he's not going to go for a Bulbasaur play and just rush through the tunnels by himself. Instead, they're going to group up and push the A side, which they've already completely cleared out. Now realizing this is an eco stack on B, I don't want to see them challenge all too much, which I say as Destroyer starts inching forward towards the B site, scaring me a lot.
CsGo is fine, by the way, because he's got Mac 10, so that's okay. If he dies, not really a big loss. They're fully executing onto this B site. Now you know that this is probably an eco. Now if CsGo going in, as said, fine, no problems there, makes sense. Anybody else? very smart. Hey, there goes Destroyer. Can't say I'm surprised. At all. Even in the slightest. Flying, he's padding the stats a little bit.
Look at the AK. Okay. Wow! What the hell was that? Why is he jumping through the door with an AK in the late round? Like, oh, let's stop them saving a P250. You're mental. There's something wrong with you. If I was... Oh, man. Again, this is one of those things. I can't do it because my girlfriend's asleep. But if I was a coach, I'd call a pause and again just scream at them for 30 seconds. And then go, alright, let's go. That's just all you could do. Because evidently, speaking logic wouldn't matter. You gotta approach it like the laws of the jungle, right? The loudest one. You start banging your chest, stand tall, make yourself intimidating. So they go, oh, I don't want to get shouted at like that again.
They do sing nice songs though in the jungle. Either way,
mighty jungle.
It's going to go down. Ronan Baby, he's rotated in quickly, but it is just trades. Effective ones at that from the T side. They've entered this B site well. It was a stack. Bulbasaur. You don't want to wait for your teammate. And well, your teammate didn't actually wait for you. So he's now going to run through the smoke. Catches Viva. That's a first. Destroyer goes down as well. And he's managed to just clutch that one out. That was looking like an impossible scenario for Bulbasaur. But he hits the timing on that smoke. Nobody watching the door. Pretty weak after plant positions as well from Invictus. And Hwatsai going to get a 13.
That is the second time this game where Bulbasaur... Sorry, the second time this half where Bulbasaur has just rushed through a smoke. And it was so moronic that the other team just were completely caught off guard. So in a way, I guess he's a genius. It's literally one of those things like... They'll never expect me to do this. But the reason they don't expect you to do it is because it's a really bad play. But it works out. And I suppose desperation. Desperate times, desperate measures, right? That's exactly what we saw. They needed that round. They got it. They stopped Invictus from reaching 15. And now 2 opening duels go their way immediately. Splash K and Spiels to pull this one into the round where it's not only doable for this one, they can put 14-14 on the board with Invictus then having one final proper buy into it. This could be Hwatsai in this round looking to definitely set themselves up for the victory.
Oh, nice shot from Nef. CsGo, he's dead. There's nothing he can do here. And yeah, things are a little bit sketchy now for Invictus. They can still buy. It'll be CsGo who's going to be the only one without a proper rifle, I guess you could say. Not been a necessarily bad performance from them on an individual level. Like, you've still got Destroyer performing fairly well. Flying's been decent. It has just been some of their decisions. And in a few times when they've been caught off guard. I think they could have won this game very easily, but they've decided to, well, basically play silly.
And this is it. This is the last chance. You look, they're going to get 2,900 next round. For Invictus, they have to win this round. Otherwise, you're looking at a likely 16-14 in favor of the Hwatsai side. This is scary. At least a guaranteed OT. Which takes the weight off the shoulders of the team that were down, I think, 10-3 at one point.
Yeah. That was a poor position from Hwatsai, but they have done a great job of turning things back. Some step-ups in the form of Ronan Baby have made a pretty big change. That is a sick nade out from Splash K. He just damaged every single player. Push going to be coming into his position, though, and both players have just been entryed. Nef, he's going to bring back 2. Spiels has caught another one off. Again, they seem to get onto the site, but every single time it goes wrong. Ronan Baby trying to spot ahead over the top. I don't think it's quite going to be revealed to him. Spiels has managed to catch one off already. It's left all onto Viva. It's been alright so far, but this would be a round to remember if he can bring this home. He's pretty much sat in the most obvious place to check. In fact, Ronan Baby's locked onto the angle. Spiels is just going to run round, pre-firing the corner. And Hwatsai have got 15. as you said, from 10-3 down, they have fought back. They lost the first 2 entries in that round, and they managed to slam back down, win that 2v1 situation. Well, Invictus, they got a bomb plant at least. I'll give them some extra money, but realistically, it's not going to be the best of buys. There's not going to be an AWP, and they're going to have to dig deep to win this one.
Yeah, this is a really upsetting position to play from now for Invictus. This should have been their game. Everything was lined up for them, but as you said, you know, players like Ronan Baby stepping it up. Destroyer, he's going to push mid by himself. What are you doing, you lunatic? I really don't like this guy. I don't like watching him play Counter-Strike at all. Bottle, he's come through with an opening at least. The CT side running away quite quickly. Shot missed by Splash K. He's allowed them to get into pit and get a little bit of control there to play off of. This could be dangerous. And he realizes that, just bailing back, getting boosted up to sight. Where he can play for short control.
He's been having a bit of a rough game so far, but if they win it, that's not really going to be something that matters too much. Trying to take a relatively passive angle onto long. That is where the T's are going to be making their way forward. He's got to be careful because he's almost setting up a headshot angle. The peak's risky. They almost line up for him, but he's found the kill nonetheless. Hoping for a timing shot will fall back into Gandalf, but well, he's put no spell on the T's. They knew he was there. The HP so low to win this is going to be tough. In fact, I think they're going to need Viva to go absolutely ham. They get an afterplant situation. He's going to be caught by Ronan and Bulbasaur there to close it out. Invictus, they've let this one slip. They've opened the door to the waving cat. And that's going to leave them now having to make a comeback again in a series. It's pretty much been the norm for Invictus throughout this tournament that they have not been anywhere near their best. And I think they've just proven it there.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what, Tom? I feel like Dave. I might text him again. Tell him, I know how you feel, man. And he might think I'm talking about a relationship, actually, so that'd be a bit awkward when I explain it's 5 Asian men. I don't think he'd think what I mean him to think. But anyways, let's bring in Blah and let's bring in Dinko. I wonder if they're as upset and hurt as poor old Dave was. Dinko, not even a morning ritual could get you happy after that one.
No, not even, Mitch. It was quite a disappointing performance, I have to say, from Invictus, but it's one we all expected could happen. We just always hoped that it wouldn't. And I think Tom painted the picture perfectly when you're coming into this. You had said it should be this easy game for Invictus. It should be a 2-0 for them. And it's true, you can't really bank on Invictus doing anything. They drop a map already, Dust 2. I mean, Invictus are just not a good team right now. It's very unfortunate to say. This Bottle player coming into the team, I mean, he hasn't been performing badly, right? And you look at it on paper, it's an upgrade. But something else is wrong with this team. They're starting to crumble overall. The Counter-Strike they're playing isn't as high quality as it was back in PAL Summer. The team overall is just making really dumb decisions. And they just need to rework the whole team at this point. Just go back to the practice server. Start watching a lot of demos, maybe get some analysts in or fire the ones that you have at the moment because they're clearly not doing anything. And just
nobody likes spinach anyway.
Yeah, just move forward and just get this done because right now, Invictus, they have the players, they have the individual skill, but they just don't have anything other than that. And of course, they can get a little bit of practice in, and of course, they can improve upon that. But right now, they have zero tactical ability.
Yeah, I feel like the most egregious round we saw for Invictus was that round. It was what, 4 Glocks and a P250, Tom? I don't have Skybox, unfortunately. I don't think I have access to it. Otherwise, I would have broken it down for you in beautiful, painstaking detail. But I feel like, yeah, now Invictus, the fact that the first half went 10-5 should never have happened. But that second half, the T side just fell completely flat. And I feel like we're seeing from Huadzai how they can play where they don't really seem to have any pressure. Like the CD side, the way they're retaking some of those bomb sites, they were losing that A bomb site every single time, right? The bomb is getting planted. But Mitch, how many times have we seen them just pushing through smokes? Both were just running out without any backup. But they were kind of, I feel like, unleashed, so to speak. It wasn't just Ronan popping off. Ronan actually had a very quiet start, but everyone was having, it seemed like they were having fun in the second half. And in the end, they get the win.
Yeah, myself and Tom were having this conversation yesterday where I was saying how, you know, a lot of the time teams will make some plays where you're like, what are you doing? Like, statistically, this is the incorrect play. And I've asked a lot of players and a lot of coaches, what are you doing? You know, why are you doing that? Because to me, you know, to the numbers, you look at the statistics behind what you're doing, it doesn't make sense. And they're like, Sometimes you just got to have faith in the play. You just got to believe in it and go for it. And it might seem like it's the wrong play and maybe you get punished, but if you believe in the strategy, just go for it. And I think that's where Bulbasaur was at in this game,
Power
definitely.
of belief.
Exactly, right? Mind over matter, mind over logic. And Bulbasaur, well, he was rushing through smokes like a lunatic, but Neff, from the get-go, that was something I said, that if himself and Ronan Baby were firing on all cylinders, it could be a pretty tough game for Invictus. Now, okay, we saw Ronan go, what, 3 for 13 at one point? He definitely bounced back towards the second half.
Yeah.
But Neff has been a consistent factor now for pretty much all the games for Huatsai. I mean, he's incredible to watch, and Black called that very early on, and I think he's continued to deliver on the high praise Black's given him.
Yeah, and even like when you look at the opening duels, 10-2, that's very impressive. Look, one thing about Invictus, yeah, there might be a garbage team when it comes to approaching the game as a unit from a tactical side. But let's be real, they have the more gifted individuals, right? They're more proven, more tenured players. You look at Viva, you look at Xiao Sage, you look at Flying and all these guys, and yet he's able to win these opening duels time and time again consistently. You got to give the guy some credit. Now we're going to be heading into Inferno, ladies and gentlemen. It is a map where famously Ronan Baby dropped 38 kills and they lost it. And of course, it's a map that famously Invictus have had a rough time on. Now, can Huatsai potentially win it in a 2-0 fashion and win their first game? Tom says he hopes so. Right now, we are on the side of the underdogs. Or can Invictus, as usual, take map number 2 and 3 and close it out? We're going to be finding out, but that's after a very, very short break.
Well, it was a disappointing first attempt for Invictus, a team that are currently towards the top of the leaderboards when it comes to PAL Fall. However, they will get another chance. We go on to Inferno next, Tom, and Huatsai, well, you called them as winning this one 2-0. I believe there was a little bit of satire in there, but you're not going to let go of that one now, are you?
I don't know. They've lost 5 games of Inferno in a row, so I'm not entirely confident in their Inferno game, but you know, after that sort of performance from Invictus, I'm not confident in them either, so I guess it's just completely 50-50. They lost to Bren on this map, they beat D13, they scraped beyond, they lost to After. This isn't a confident map for them, so we're into our pistol. Xiao Sage, he's going to kick it off. They are starting on the T side, and that does mean at least that they can dictate the pace. Ronan Baby is going to turn things around, and holy cow, everyone is dead.
Well, not too bad of a turnaround here for the T side. Bomb dropped as well. Shosage's got a pretty tough time. You get a 1v4, and, well, it ain't going to happen. Bobo taking that frag. It said it was through the smoke, but he could definitely see him. A 1-0 we go. Watsai. They've done what needs to be done. They've gotten the round on the board to win this. Question is, can they win the second? Because their track record ain't great.
Yeah, they haven't won a series. So I'm guessing that's what you're getting at.
Sorry, I just need to quickly interject. They didn't get a bomb plant, Tom. And they're forced buying up. It's just stupid.
Why not, right?
It's like I'm all for sitting here and going, well, that is a decision. No, you're wrong. You're approaching this game incorrectly. Like, why would you do that?
Maybe they want the extra utility going into their buy. Or maybe they're just going to win this round and make you look like a fool. They are pretty damn good with these Deegs. In fact, I'd say they're better with the Deegs than they are with anything else. So, there you go. It's actually a very smart decision.
I will say the most frustrating thing as an analyst, regardless of broadcaster team, is when you look at a strategy and you say, please don't do this, it's wrong. And then they do it, and you'll have a combination of fans, viewers, and the team themselves go, but it worked. It's like, doesn't mean you should do it. Like,
here we
it's
go.
like jumping off a cliff without knowing how deep the water is.
They've got an entry. It's down to Splashgate. It could be going wrong, Mitchell. Oh, he's gonna die. He's dead. He's dead. They've got the kill.
Jesus.
They're making you look like a fool, Mitch. A fool, I tell you.
You know,
now
like,
it's left on to Bulbasaur and Neff, and they should just be saving.
I hate it, Tom. I hate it so much. Like, well, he's gotten a kill at least. They're not going to go for this, are they? They're going to go for it. It's a 2v3.
Let's go,
You've got barely any time.
Whoop.
What are you doing? Oh, I hate this round. Everything about this just kills me. I mean, I feel worse than Dave when you cheated on for the 11th time. He was still surprised. Like, the reality
Dave doesn't
is,
exist, does he?
his name's not Dave, but he does. It wasn't 11 times, but it was a significant number. It was I don't even know how many it was, to be honest, because does it count as cheating if like it's 2 different people before you find out? Is that 2 or is it 1? I don't know. We had to ask ourselves a lot of questions on the morality of how to calculate figures.
That's not even a question. It's 2. What?
It's 2? If it's done twice with one person, is it 2 or 1?
I'd say that's 2 different counts.
All right. Well, then it's probably 11.
Okay.
For
Dave is a fool.
yeah. We told him. And
is it Dean? It was Dean, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Dean. It wasn't Dean. You don't know. I went to school with them. I didn't go to school with Dean.
Wait, you didn't? I thought all Irish people would like live within like
screw you, Tom.
10 meters of each other.
But the thing is, right? It's like diving off a cliff, right? And not knowing how deep the water is, like whether there's rocks there or not. You just kind of go, oh, that's a cliff, I'll jump off. And you land in the water and you go, but I had a great time. It was really fun. It's like, but you should not have done it. Like, there's a decent chance you died. It's like,
YOLO, innit?
I splashed and it was fun. I might do it again on a different
Just keep saying YOLO, it's fine.
Exactly, YOLO.
They're going to push into the 3-man stack here. Now, there's no boost, so they should be okay. They've already lost 1 man. The spam through is not going to do anything, but Spiels does manage 1, and that will be all. I thought maybe there was going to be something a little bit more there. But unfortunately, for the remaining 2 players, there's very little hope in this round. And thus, they shall probably go for it.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy that we found Eminem on
Go
this
on.
one.
Let's go, Ronan, baby. Got 1 kill. Viva is going to be
Please.
down and out. Bottle and flying. Oh, it's getting a little bit dicey. There's only 15 seconds,
Oh
though.
my
They have to
God.
run. Someone needs to get on the defusal. They need to kill off this man in the corner first, though, and they lost the round. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He got the kill, but it's too late. That's a shame.
Congratulations. You played yourself.
Hey,
Yeah, one of them
he got-
had to stick it.
He got an M4. Why is he throwing his guns away?
He thought he was dead, but he's not. If he lost that weapon because he thought he was dead,
The funny thing is, I'm pretty sure the
cried.
bomb would have pushed it away. So he he lost it. Oh,
I mean, if it was still up in the air, it could have actually flown away. Why are they facing as well with so little time? Like, I really want to find Eminem. I thought we'd found him, but no. I want to snap back to reality.
Oh,
This is
there goes gravity.
this is really just mom's spaghetti at the moment.
Oh,
Although no, my mom makes good spaghetti.
I don't think that was what the song was about.
But in the context that I'm saying it in, it doesn't make it.
Come on, Bulbasaur. Come on. No.
Here we go.
Sneak them.
He's gone backwards.
No, he was too far away. He hit him, but it was too far away.
I mean, he went back there so that if he got swung on the other side, it'd be a better chance that he didn't get seen, right? Minimize your view model.
Yeah, it's
Those
not.
of you
It's not that he made a bad play. It's just a shame.
Yeah.
Spiels has an AK though. Now they can just save these 2 weapons. Now these last couple of rounds have been fairly manic. Some questionable decisions, but we're gonna get on with it for my mental sanity. Nonetheless, few kills each round. 4 players surviving though this one, so Invictus will have made a little bit of extra cash. And realistically, why is Destroyer the one pushing? He's not. He's just gone. What is it? This man's weird. Don't peek, Spiels. Don't peek. Don't peek. Please. Please. Why? Oh.
It's just... It's not the biggest of deals, and it's not like rounds are being directly decided at the moment because of some of these decisions, but at the same time, it is just a head scratcher. It really is. To try and understand what's going on inside their heads is the greatest task I've ever had.
I felt like it's like trying to get through one of those like laser mazes you see in the movies. Where like you can't really see what you're trying to avoid, so it's very difficult to understand. Interestingly, that works on another level because normally the way to get through it, you need to put down a load of smoke so that you can see them all. And obviously, in this case, the players will just run through it.
Just like in as they would handle such a delicate maze, just
Dun,
run.
dun, 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 dun. Just straight away, all the alarms go off. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, well, I couldn't see the lasers. That means they are not there. Like, no, that's not how it works.
Runs up, smashes the case, takes the thing, runs out the front door, like past all the security cameras, not wearing a mask, like they can just see exactly who it is.
Destroyer's just like, and I got the case. It's just like, you're not holding a case. You're holding a piece of paper. Like, what did you steal? Like, just stolen something completely. You ran into the wrong building. Either way, Splash K, good position. They half check him. What has just happened? The lazy peak. That's what we call that one.
It wasn't
As if-
even.
as
It was.
As if you've just. I guess he assumed because it was someone
Yeah,
deep
no,
on banana that there was no one
This is what I want to ask you, Tom. In what world do you have a player hiding sandbags while the other player is on the back of the site? Because honestly, and I mean this genuinely, if they had have expected him to be there, I would have paused this game so that I could report their coach for cypher camming. He would be sent straight to ESIC, because that is brain dead. Like, that is not a hold. Why would you hold it like that?
Oh, here we go.
Let's imagine he doesn't find 3
Wait,
kills.
there was no one else there? Why did he...
It's just CsGo. You had a Mac 10 though. You wanted to play aggressive entry, but I mean, generally entry, you want someone behind him to trade.
Exactly.
But, you know, whatever. They don't play Counter Strike by the rules. But if you imagine he didn't find 3 kills from sandbags last round, and then they just go to site, the guy gets 1 kill and traded, he would just be screaming right now about how stupid of a setup that was. And it was still that stupid of a setup. It just worked.
But the thing that's more infuriating is that someone on Invictus looked at sandbags and went, nope, no one there. I'm going to forget that round. It didn't happen. Bulbasaur, he's setting up the nade. Currently in round number 1 of the match. And he's going to do a little bit of damage. Don't know why they've got guns in round number 1, but we'll move on. And Neff, Bulbasaur, and Ronan, they've shut this down quite effectively. It's going to be left on to flying. He has got 40 seconds to try and retrieve the bomb. And, well, if anything, he's just got to kill everyone at this point. Molotov going to be going down. It will be able to clear Road Baby out the corner. It doesn't have much support, but he doesn't need it. This seems to be his map. It's a weird one, because I'll be honest, like... Do you know what? He actually just is somebody. Like, is there a relation? Because it's like, it's not a map that I would put that should work for, like, really puggy players. Obviously, it's one that everybody knows how to play most of the time. But, like, most of the time, aggression on this map gets caught because it's so risky. Whereas him and somebody just seem to be able to perform incredibly well on this map. And it kind of irritates me, but at the same time, it is entertaining. They've smoked their own Molotov, and...
Smart play.
That's twice now. On different teams, that someone has looked at a player and then looked away.
Mm-hmm. You know, Tom, I feel like... Oh, we're rushing down with an MP9. At least the support was there. At least Splash K was peeking. I actually couldn't tell. And he's gone out for more. Alright, I want to paint a picture. He loses that fight, right? Maybe it's a deagle. He gets deagged. A player with the bomb rushes B, picks up his rifle on the way. Now all of a sudden, he's got a rifle. He's got a bomb planned as well. And we end up in a spot where that round can be lost quite easily. The alternative is that he doesn't peek and his teammates come in up behind Banana. They box him in and they peek together. Which one of those sounds better? Well, the first one apparently, because that's what we like to do here.
I don't understand why he, like, if someone lazy peeks something, right? It's because they don't expect someone to be there. Why did he think logs was clear?
I think typically when you smoke bottom Banana, you imagine that it's unlikely one guy's going to be tucked in. However, you also have to remember they've got pistols. Like the fact that they have pistols
rushes Banana every round. What do you mean it's likely to be clear?
That's quite true. Also,
if you've watched any game, even this one, you'd know that that's not going to be clear.
Yeah, I think well, I suppose only one guy.
They didn't know it was there.
The difference for me is that when it comes to just typically, you smoke bottom Banana, you've cleared left side, and you've pushed all the way down without a peek. How likely is it someone's going to play completely by themselves? No spams coming through the smoke, like nothing at all. It seems like they weren't even playing bottom mid.
Like, even if you're like,
firstly, of course you check it. Firstly, of course you check it, but secondly, consider the team you're up against exactly as you said. CsGo has been pushing Banana every round, and the idea of, oh well, he wouldn't play solo and he would not have any support here. That doesn't exist in this region. Like, they also missed their molly. The molly last round was meant to go into tree, but it bounced off the left side of the wall and went in the smoke. And I guess they just went, let's pretend the molly's there. It shows a really shockingly low level of adaptation, though, Tom. Okay, please don't lose this round. But I just want to quickly say the fact that in that strategy he was not supposed to clear tree because it was supposed to be mollied, and when the molly misses, he doesn't realize I now have to clear tree. He's like, nope, strat says I don't have to clear tree.
Oh dear.
God. You're solo
Everything's
A
falling
holding
apart.
from that position, and you know there's a guy in apartments because he'd already gotten a kill. That's just silly.
Well, this round's looking pretty good for Invictus. Sitting on the positive side of the fence for once, they have a chance to now win themselves a round. They've got a couple of Molotovs on the CT side as they're looking to try and clear out some of these angles. An AWP for Splashgate isn't ideal, but he's got Flying peeking against him. That gave him a chance. The backside corner is currently held by Bottle, who's going to go swinging out. Nice shot from Spiels, but Bottle's got the trade, and Splashgate's a bit far behind, but he just runs in with a USP. They're going to hold on to the round, and I mean hold on to, as that was one that they never should have been losing. 6-3, Watsite continue to gain on their lead, but their finances have taken a pretty hefty hit, and now we can come in with a buy. Now, bear in mind, Viva's normally my go-to player when it comes to this map. If he plays well, they normally win. There was one game where I think he got 30-plus kills in this map, and they lost. But normally that's enough, especially with Flying performing as well. Currently, Flying has 3 kills, Viva has 1. This is not what we want to see when it comes to an Invictus comeback on this match. Now, obviously, they've got 5 wins. Realistically, that should be enough. 6, I think, is the point of guaranteed promotion into the playoffs. So your Tiger, your Tyloo, they are already confirmed to be through. It just depends. Obviously, it does matter where you finish, because it affects your seeding quite heavily. Flying. Feeling like there might be a potential solo peek. Ronan Baby's locked in. He's got to be careful. They're running through short, but he'll get the first kill for free. There's already a man on site. Molotov's not going to do anything as it lands straight in the smoke. And Neff, they don't know he's here yet. Well, they do now. He's just missed some bullets. And actually, it's falling apart a little bit. Somehow, they still managed to get away with the kills, and the flank is coming in. Ronan Baby might be lost, but they've kept control of the pit. The spray coming out from Xiao. Sage, though, a Destroyer's found another one. They didn't need to push that. They've left it all onto Neff, and he's going to fall as well. Oh, dear, Hotsai. The thing that's frustrating here is you had a player in pit, and you had short control. There wasn't really a place they could do anything from, but instead, both players just run in.
Onwards and upwards. You know, for a team like Invictus, 4 rounds, they're getting close to their target goal of 6. Without Flying showing up, as you were saying, it's almost a scary prospect. Because like, this scoreline right now is good for Invictus, and they've managed to obviously put them down to an eco over on the CT side, so that should be 5. I don't see any problem with them even finishing on that kind of scoreline. The CT side should be better. We know Watsai are not really capable on Inferno. They're not a great Inferno team at all. And we've already seen that in some of the decision-makings on the fly. Molly misses in Banana, then they just pretend that it's hit. They don't clear it. You solo hold A, pretend they can't come through apartments after spotting someone in apps 20 seconds ago. And it seems like their protocols for when things are going right are fine. But it's when things go wrong, when you lose that opening pick, when you're left in a position where something is left open. Maybe you've lost long control. How do you adapt to holding CT on the B site? Maybe you've lost control over short. Well, do you retake it, or how do you hold the site itself or pit? Being wary of apartments, all that sort of stuff. And I don't think they've got the knowledge or the comfort level on this map to really make those decisions on the fly. Eva's got 2 kills. Like, this is ridiculous. 3 for Flying. Definitely not the players you'd expect to be trailing on the leaderboard.
And the worry as well is on the CT side, especially, they play the most pivotal roles. Like, you normally see Viva challenge, or overly challenge Banana, and then Flying's the pit player. So if either of them are performing badly in the next half, they're going to be in real trouble. Now, do I think they'll have 2 back-to-back bad halves? Probably not. I think it's unlikely. Splash Kid's actually going to go back through that smoke. regain banana control, but the rest of the team are gathering up. Now, this is where I would have liked to see a more 4-1 rotation, and they are eventually going to go for it. The problem is it's likely to be too little too late, and the flashbangs have gone over, and Spiels has decided to stay on B. Maybe just didn't want to get in on the fight. Ronan Baby for the pit. He's going to have to hit some tasty shots. He does get one, and Neff's in the pit as well. He's trying to hold the line, and he has to waste an awful lot of time here. He's being pushed from 3 different angles. Chance of survival slim, but he's doing a damn good job of it. Beaver's managed to catch another one. The incendiary is going to make things a little bit awkward for him, but it doesn't seem to matter. Again, the rotation from the other side has not done enough. And although Neff put up a hero's round, Viva did slightly better as he goes from 2 kills to 7 in 1 round.
Not too shabby. You know, you got to call a player out to really get the best out of them, evidently. A flying sucks. All right, so he's going to ace this round, and that will be a nice, comfortable spot. I mean, Invictus are already looking good. The reality is, you know, on the T side, the expression, I don't know if I've said it to you before, Tom, I've definitely said it a lot. The T side is like an oven. The CT is like a microwave. You come in, you're expected to be on straight away if you're on the CT side. But on the terrorist, yeah, you can warm up into it, right? You spend a little while figuring out how your opponents are playing and trying a couple different setups, and eventually you make that connection. You hit it. If you play American football, the T side's the offense, same as it is here, the offense. You get your 4 tries to get your 10 yards, as opposed to the defense who have to be stopping you every step of the way.
This round, at least, not looking too good. Maroon and Baby, the Deagle King, is dead, and then onwards, it should be easy pickings now for Invictus. Can't say they particularly deserve to take the lead, but at the same time, if they do, I don't think they're going to be complaining too much. Their map choice, one that we do expect them to play better on, but from what we've seen so far this tournament, that's not always been the case, and a lot of that has been down to their CT sides being poor. Obviously, Viva's ace in the last round is going to put the wind into his sails, and anything attempted in this round it's just going to fall flat. Galsage needs to make sure he at least holds onto the rifle. Spiels is going to look to try and hunt him down. Only 1 HP, but he doesn't connect the shot. 7-6, a flawless round will put the money in the pockets of Invictus. And now they are heading their way to a half victory.
And it is the thing that once you see that T side warmed up, right, once they figure you out, you have to go to your B plan. You have to start defending differently. Maybe it's where you start throwing in a little bit of added aggression to catch them off guard. You can test for map control a little bit earlier, but if Whatside don't have those protocols, they don't have the B and C plans, well then, this is where Invictus just kind of steamroll them from this point forward on the T side. And 7 rounds is already too much to give away. I think it's quite likely we end up a little bit higher up, and certainly if they win this round, Tom, you're looking at a 9-6 half for Invictus more than likely. That's really not where you want to be playing from. And look at this A-fake they're selling right now. All the utility coming over. But Spiels has made it to sandbags. I think they heard him go there. They knew exactly what was going. He's going to push the smoke.
Oh my. What? He gets 2? Oh dear, oh dear. Bulbasaur's going to run through the next one as well. Oh, he almost gets a kill, but it's not very clever. And, well, with what was a 3v2, now a 2v2, they had a good chance in the afterplant position. Instead, Viva is going to get an aggressive spot. Nice kill onto Ronan, and Neff's nowhere near the trade. It's all too easy for Invictus, and... wow.
2 maps now. I've seen Bulbasaur do that. He's 5 for 12 at the moment. And I don't know. I'm not enjoying his decision making. I think it's really, really terrible in a lot of these situations. Because I get it from some players. He's like, oh, I'm going to make a play. Or he feels like he has to make a play when he absolutely doesn't. And the risk he's taken never really pays off. That's it. Double openings, MP9, Scout, both tagged up pretty heavily. But considering the AK and the M4 haven't even been involved just yet. This is oh my god. Nice. At least it's a tag. Flying so easy to take down. This round is going so damn well for Huatsai. Of course it is, Tom.
Makes me very uncomfortable. Nephi's going to spot him, though. They're getting very lucky in this round. Very, very lucky with a lot of timing spots. Bottle, though, he's looking to try and fight this back. Now, both players are very far away from each other. Bulbasaur's going to push down the bottom of mid. We'll see the switch up of Splash K into the pit. A lot of information gathered up by Bulbasaur. Likely tell his teammate that it's going to be a push in his direction. Bottle's been having a fairly decent game so far. Splash K yet to spot him out, and that will be the free kill. The 1v4 turned 1v1 as Bottle has brought this back, and the last man has been a man that we've questioned many a time so far in this matchup. Bulbasaur to try and save them here, and Bottle, it seems like he's completely aware, but he can't quite land the final shot. Save the AK for the next half, I guess, and that will be a 7th. Maybe one that they shouldn't have had, but I feel like that's pretty much the way that this game has been going for both sides. Rounds won, rounds lost that never really should have happened. And while we've ended almost even at the end of the half.
I think, though, you have to take into consideration the fact that that even scoreline on such a CT-sided map does give Invictus the upper hand. And then you combine that with the fact that, obviously, we've seen Huatsai on the attack. They haven't looked good on this map in general. Their comfort level hasn't been there, and now I think this is it's gonna be a challenge for them. Some teams do thrive a little bit more when they're on that attacking side and they don't have the pressure on their back of trying to make those holds. And I think if you're uncomfortable with the map, actually, it's probably a little bit easier, Tom, to attack than it is to defend. On a map like Inferno, especially, where the rotates are so long, and you've got to make decisions like what happens when you lose your long player. How do you rotate one from B? Do you give up short? Do you play side? Like, there's so much to do on a map like Inferno, and the wrong decisions can cost you massively. This is just a waterfall out. I don't know how Flying survived so long, but it's not going to net them anything. A bomb plant's certain to come through, and despite the damage to Ronan, baby, he's managed to stay alive at least and bring it into a 4v4.
Yeah, the only thing is I'm not sure how confident I am on their afterplant positions. Ronan is already going to drop. Got a man within the apartments. This is falling apart. Nice shot from Bulbasaur, but I think it's too little too late. There's still 3 players to find. He's at least managed to drop the kit, but I don't think that's going to matter much. I genuinely don't know how he's alive at this point. They're going for a 10-second defuse, and that looked really weird, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be a round going on the board for Invictus. That sort of reminded me of the dog in Up, where he just looked in a random direction and just went, squirrel.
He heard a noise. I mean, all in all, that was a really good start for Huatsai. They get on the site, they get a 4v4 and just gave every single shot to Viva. The wall bang kill onto the low HP Ronan baby from the spam, then those 2 swings onto the site. It was a depressing affair, really. And with Invictus going up 9-7, we should see one more go their way. Now, even with a bomb plant, Huatsai have decided against force buying in this round, which would be very common. Instead, they've gone for pistols, and they managed to get a 1-for-1. What?
I don't look at them, they can't see me.
That was so good, though. They flashed him. They completely flashed him. They got a plant. They've got 2 kills. This is great. Oh my, no!
Oh, there's no way Splash K wins this. There's no way. He's actually going to get spammed through the wall. But yeah, that's a very, very good round. A huge amount of money made for Huatsai. A lot of damage done to their opponent's economy as well. If they can win this round, then they're going to be in a fantastic position. Pulling out where the smoke is. That's nice.
That was actually scary, though. Like, the pushing him one at a time, terrible. I love that approach, though. Once I find the opening on apps, their player is even low, but they call, the flash was already ready. They chuck it over, they completely blind the player on short, and he dives out dives on top of him, takes the kill. That gets them a bomb plant. They get another frag afterwards. Invictus just got destroyed. And now they've invested fully into this round, and they've got an SMG still. This is great. Huatsai have lined them up, but now it's time to tap those dominoes, knock them over, straight through the smoke. Oh, there was one on long as well. That makes sense then. Ronan Baby had his flash as well, just to cover him on that swing through. Pull the up. Oh, the angle! Spiels! He's straight onto Viva. He's opened up B, dragging the rotate back over towards the site. And CsGo, well, he's playing this alone. I'm actually surprised they don't two-man rotate at this stage, because he could have just been completely overwhelmed, but I suppose the lack of pressure and the lack of utility coming over made him feel comfortable in solo holding for now, but once the flash is popped, Bottle's on his way.
And that's all a fake as well. They've used that flash, that small amount of utility, as an elaborate ruse. The only thing is, it's similar to what we've seen previously. They faked this out, but they've taken too long. They've taken way too long. So their opponents already know that this is a fake, and they're going to have the three-man stack. The spam through does so much damage. CsGo actually gets the kill on the other side of the map as well. And this goes from an advantage to a disadvantage in a matter of seconds. Flying from the pit is someone tough to clear. And the pressure onto Bottle eventually nets them a kill. They've still got to watch out, as there's a man in the smoke in the pit. And they're hunting for him. Destroyer has got another kill as well. And it's left all onto Bulbasaur, trying to clutch this out from the corner of the site. He's getting spammed down. The first will go his way, but that is all. And it started so well for Huatsai, but unfortunately they overthought things and they didn't really work too well as a team.
Again, we're seeing elements and attempts from them like that fake up towards top banana, but it is a very half-assed one, right? It's not one that's going to fake out a whole lot of teams into sticking in position. I think just generally what we're seeing from them is the lack of comfort on the map itself. The smoke's being thrown down by Invictus, the angles they're holding. It's not something that Huatsai are evidently used to playing against. And I think from an objective standpoint, this definitely should be Invictus's map. With an 11-7 lead, I doubt they throw this one away. Not even so much I doubt they throw it away, it's I doubt Huatsai have got what it takes to actually turn things around. That's more so the issue.
I don't know. I think Invictus have managed to disappoint me so many times I wouldn't be overly surprised. And while with a double entry coming out from Ronan and Splash K on Banana, they might be about to give it a damn good try, Mitch. As a nade, not even going to reach them. Bottle spam through it. It should realistically just be a save here. Did you know, Mitch, that the M4A4 has tracer bullets, so that if you shoot through smokes, the players can see where they're coming from? That's the difference between that and the silenced M4, which doesn't. And that's actually one of the reasons the silenced M4 can be quite viable, is that when you spam through smoke, it's harder to tell. Now, in the round we've just witnessed, the spam through the smoke actually gave a fair bit of information to Splash K as to where to spam back. So Bottle may have seemed like he wasn't taking that risky a spray, but in fact loses his gun because of the use of the M4A4.
That's really interesting, Tom. I never would have thought of that. I think maybe this is something that professional teams could take into account when they play and make these decisions. I don't know. I'm just spitballing there, but that could be something that would be helpful.
Oh, 11-8. It's a save for the majority of the players, but with Destroyer and Flying on AK still, there is potential that this round could go amiss. And Huatsai, oh, they've let plenty of rounds slip like this so far. They're making a hell of a lot of noise going into the apartments. The bait's been taken. Destroyer peeks out, but he's only going to get one. And now the push continues on towards this A site. Flying. He's trying to be the luck at the bomb. The bomb! Oh, he actually headshot Bulbasaur through the wall. Oh, that could have gone so badly wrong. The bomb was so far behind everyone else. Huatsai have definitely got away with one there.
Rather fortunate indeed. They won't be caught off, they won't be punished, as you said, they get away with it, and the 12th round is stalled, at least for now. Viva on his way up through the apartments looks for an exit, but it's unlikely he gets it. Like, he's got a USP up against full HP, full armored opponents. Good luck. But here we go. 11 to 9, and Invictus, they might not even full buy, actually. I mean, in a map like this, it's not uncommon to take the weaker weapons to back up your rifles, but I think with the lead they've got, based on those deagles coming out, they're comfortable to take this one as an eco and actually give, potentially, a 10th round over to Whiteside, just so when they do get a buy, it'll have an off, and more importantly, really, on this map, oh my god! Have full utility, and that's one hell of a way to start things off.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they invest into 2. This is a lot of the time Viva likes to throw one up. Destroyer is someone who picks up an AWP as well. Nice trade at least comes in eventually from Neff. Now this double peeking pit is a fairly risky one. They've started to gamble that maybe it's going in the other direction. CsGo going to get some close range angles around the smoke. Of course, their opponents are going to be running through it. This is free kills. It's just free kills. Bulbasaur trying to trade things back. Neff left into a 1 versus 1. The last man's coming in behind him. This was only Deagles, Mitch. This wasn't even a full investment. And Neff has to try and save them once again. He doesn't know where the last man's coming from. The timing is going to work out in flying favor, but he hits the tap. Oh my goodness, Watsai. You are scraping by these last few rounds. It's making me so uncomfortable. And well, now there's a buy coming up, Mitch. If anything, this is Invictus's chance to slam them into the ground.
This has been anything but clean, isn't it? That kind of round.
There's a whole really minute on the clock. A whole minute.
Like, those pistols shouldn't be getting anywhere near that much work done. It was a great opening by Viva, and that almost cost them.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't need to run through that smoke. They just didn't need to. They could have just waited.
Yep.
Ooh, those are some nice nades, and CsGo is just running down Banana. He's got to be careful. There is still a man in the logs, but he has a teammate to help him out. And this is a quick cleanup for them so far. 2 players remaining, Bulbasaur and SplashK. SplashK's had a pretty damn good game. 22 kills for him. Even still, I think the likelihood of them bringing this one back is slim. Okay, Destroyer is now just holding the angle, so realistically, now that he's decided he is going to stop pushing like a madman, he should be in a position where this shot, I was going to say can't be missed, but he does miss it. Luckily, he's got flying to back him up. Nice shot from Bulbasaur, but Destroyer will get there in the end. 12 to 10, Invictus confirm their lead a little bit further, and there's enough money to buy into this round, but this is the end of the finances for Huatsai.
End of the road, pretty much. If they lose as well, Invictus get that final little burst of energy coming towards the end of the game. It's 12-10. You'll be looking at 14 before it's a full buy for Huatsai. With that they've been playing so far, I don't feel too confident in their abilities. They do feel like they just... Oh no! CsGo straight through the smoke. What's going on? How is he still alive? He was beside them. I thought they saw him. They haven't lost a single player on this banana push until SplashK comes in with a double. Oh, what a round this is already shaped up to be. It's going to be a B push, but they have no idea about the extra man. Already pushed up so aggressively. This is ridiculous play with an AWP. A Destroyer gets one. Shuts it into a 1 versus 2. The swing by Neff. Ooh. And he's so close. He gives Flying a haircut, but in the end, it's not enough to take it across the line. Huatsai, 13 to 10 down, facing an eco.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think this is the beginning of the end. They haven't looked particularly good on their T side, and unfortunately, the rounds that they have been winning have been like very, very, very close in there. And even in the early rounds, we were seeing them get a lot more bomb plants, making a lot more money. At this point, it's not really been going in that same direction. So Invictus back in the driver's seat. They've still got to be careful, though. They can't really afford to lose too many players. I will say that Ronan's bought a little bit more than I would have liked to see. Obviously, if he gets a kill or two, it's fine. They will leave him within the same position of the rest of the team. And there you go. Bottle's been absolutely owned. Destroyer is going to take the reface, and we'll get the trade. But the rest of the team, look where they're going, Mitch. They've run all the way back around. Viva and CsGo have given up the site. They might not even realize in time CsGo is going to get into position, but he's going to hear all the footsteps. This should be a bomb plant at least, and he's going to take the fight. Wins the battle, gets the second, and well, now Neff doesn't really stand a chance. Probably just going to allow them to defuse the bomb, hoping that maybe he can catch someone rotating. The fact is, they have absolutely no idea where he is, and, well, he has a chance for a 1v1 against the AWPer.
It's the weapon, even. There's a weapon here for him to pick up, I'm pretty sure. He's kind of presuming that they'll be sticking around looking for it. They've cleared out the site. They're just now starting to defuse, but there's still plenty of time. 5 seconds or so. And I think he just runs underneath. There we go. Picks up an M4. Mission accomplished.
Well, it's crunch time for Hotsai. All in all, not a bad round, but at this point, they need more than just finances. They need to make sure that they're getting some rounds onto the board. They need to put the pain onto the economy of Invictus. It's going to be an aggressive push from them, looking to try and take the fight. And Viva, he's doing just that, but he's got caught out. Destroyer has found the trade, and oh my goodness, that's risky from Spiels. He's going to get away with it. In the meantime, Neff's trying to make a play back in the other direction, but it seems like Flying's aware of it. The Molotov, however, has gone past. Is he expecting anybody to be this far forward? The answer is no. And that's an opening onto the A side. A missed shot from Destroyer as well. That could be everything. He missed a second. That's 2 mistakes in the space of a moment. And now Neff, is he just going to be handed a third kill? Surely not. Bottle gets there in the end. He's going to throw out a Molotov. He doesn't realize someone's already crossed past. This is just a round of misinformation and misplays from the side of Invictus. And CsGo has made the decision just to hold on to his gun.
I think it's the right call, bringing that weapon forward, but a depressing round. Really, Destroyer had that in the bag. If he just hits that, he has a teammate still on site. It's easy pickings for them. They've got balcony covered. He's able to just hold for middle. But a double whiff, and I know you said Destroyer likes to pick up that up, but maybe he should pick up the rifle again. He's 20 for 18, and a lot of that was first half. He was very impactful in the early stages of the first half, especially in finding them all these advantages. You know, here's where there's a little bit of a challenge for Invictus, potentially. I mean, they're on their last dollar and dime. If they lose this one, it's 13-14, and this is a real weight starting to build up on their shoulders. I think this is where the stress really begins, if they lose this one.
Oh, fast play from Ronan. There's 3 players at the top of the banana, and the battle has gone the way of the CT side. Bomb in their control. This gamble stack that they've thrown in a few times now has been working massively. Neff manages to avoid the Molotov, but it seems like Flying's going to go pushing. Neff hoping to try and find a trade, but nothing going to come his way. And now the full force of this defense have all come in to just support on Banana. If they somehow manage to lose this round, I will be calling questions. Flying's actually getting wall banged. He's getting fairly low. That's a free kill. They do section them apart, but Viva is very quick to find a trade. Nice shot from SplashK, but it won't matter. 15-11. Money in the bin as well for Hotsai. It's looking like Invictus are going to be taking us to a third and final map. And as I said, this is classic Invictus style. They like to copy Tyloo in every aspect, and that includes losing a map.
Yeah, decision-making in losing maps to weaker teams. As you said, they've had 1-2-0 in this tournament so far. Everything else has been 2-1s. Not a nice position to be in. I mean, if you're having that kind of struggle, how do you play versus the likes of a Tai Lu? But hey, at least they're getting this one closed out fairly nicely. Destroyer in there with a double. So is Xiao Sage. Splash K left all alone. There's not a lot he can do. He's moving up towards long. There's already 4 players on this site. One coming up through mid. This would have to be the nuttiest ace clutch. I think short of a spin bot, he's lost this round. And with that, Invictus do take 16-11 on map number 2. They've made the recovery, and they're bringing us the full distance all the way onto Mirage, Tom. It's been an up and down series. I think Invictus, they didn't look too great when it came to map number 1. It was a close one. But they made a lot of mistakes. A little bit less so here, but I think they won this more so because of the mistakes of Huatsai. And luckily, we've got 2 beautiful gentlemen who've been watching that in the background. They're going to give us a little bit more insight into that one. Blah, let's start with yourself. What did you take away from this map now? Invictus bouncing back. How do you feel about Mirage coming up, I think, more importantly?
I mean, you guys didn't believe, but I believed in Invictus. I knew they could take down the superior team there, Huatzai, able to grind it back in a fascinating fashion. Jokes aside, though, let's be real. I don't see Huatzai taking this series, right? Yes, they won Dust 2. Great job. Kudos to them. Got to give them credit. Bobo, especially showing up and playing on that map. This was just... It's kind of weird, even though it was a pretty one-sided affair. What was it, 16-11 at the end of the game over there? For some reason, it felt closer to me, because we had these kind of weird rounds coming out where it did get a little close, but the decision-making, that's what stands out to me. I'm not going to try and break down any of the big rounds, Mitch. For me, it's more about someone's individual plays where it's highly unnecessary. 2v4, you're saving. Right? You know where the T's are. Why do you peek with 2 seconds remaining? I mean, what was the purpose of sitting on your asses for 30 seconds for the bomb to explode, saving a gun, and then you peek out at the last second? It makes no sense. So decision making is lacking, but at least for the side of Invictus, they kind of showed up here, I feel like. What's your take on this, Dinko?
I think it was probably a little closer than Invictus would have liked, especially in the first half. I feel like they definitely could have done a little bit more, but I think it comes down to the point you were talking about, Blair, that we've brought up so much with pretty much every team in this tournament, is the decision making is awful. It just is terrible, and it loses them so many rounds, right? Invictus should be able to win this cleanly. They should stop Huatsai from taking 10 rounds, reaching double figures. They should just shut it down, but a few mistakes come in here across the board, but it's a better performance on Inferno. I don't really want to take too much away from this because it is Huatsai they're playing against. Invictus, I feel, still have their problems on Inferno. You can definitely see that. It'll take a little bit more work and a few more convincing wins for me to be a little bit more confident in this team. I think a good takeaway, because we know basically we're not going to be seeing Huatsai play much more in this tournament. Neff is definitely the player to watch for me in this team. We talk about Ronin because he's kind of the flashy one, but I think Nev is probably the player just has to go forward and do something better. He's one of the pickups for this team. I think Splashkey coming to form in this final map, well, one of the final maps in this tournament for them is a good sign. Maybe he can get his confidence back. I feel like he's been out of the game for quite some time, so moving forward, I want to see him kind of return to form. But this Huatsai team, I don't see them winning the series. Obviously, I don't see them getting a win in this tournament, and I don't see this team sticking together.
You say that, Dinko, but Tom, which team took down Tai Lu on Mirage? To remind me, refresh my memory. It was Huatsai. They won it convincingly. So I don't know. If I'm Invictus, I'm going to be attempting to at least close it out early instead of allowing Huatsai back into the map, which is what they did on Dust 2.
That's true. They do need to shut them down.
Honestly, at this point, thanks for that info, Dinko. Honestly, at this point, I don't really know what to expect with either of these teams. I think both of them are poor. I would love to see this Invictus roster completely disband and some of the other members go to other teams. I think they've got great individuals, but I think as a whole, they are a plague within this tournament. That has just they just make awful decisions, and it's frustrating because on an individual level, you can see someone like Destroyer, you can see someone like Flying Viva play to a high standard. Any of the players on this squad can do something amazing, and then the next round they just have zero synergy, and it's infuriating because they're probably going to come out as one of the top teams when in comparison to Tyloo, Vici, and even Tiger, I just don't think they're very good at all. So I don't know. I would love to see these other players in different rosters, maybe under some better leadership, because whatever's going on with the calling, it just seems to be like, I will go and get a kill and see what I can do in this round. It's just not good.
There doesn't seem to be really any calling, but again, I don't know, Mitch. Well, what's your friend's name again? Dean, David, Dave.
I'll go with Dean. Don't get me in trouble with Dean.
Okay, it's kind of impressive, like how I think it's very fitting how Tom, despite after all these games, what day is it today? Day number 12?
13?
13.
Lucky number 13
Three
on,
best
on,
of
a,
threes
on
a
a
day
Friday.
for 13 days. That's quick math. 39 games. 39 games. And even then, at the end of all this, Tom's like, I don't get why they're not making good decisions. It's just like your friend Dave. He just doesn't learn, but at the same time, neither do we, and neither does Invictus. Will they, however, learn and come up on Mirage and close it out, take it 2-1, or with what side? Finally, get a win under the belt. We're going to be finding out after a very short break.
And here we go, once more into the fray, Tom. We're going onto the final map of Mirage, as people just saw on their screens at home. A nice little fly through. I mean, the production quality here with PGL is absolutely insane. I think this has got to be the best production that the Asian region has had consistently, anyways, for these kind of events. Usually it's one bloke on his PC just sat there breathing down the mic. So I think this is it's an improvement for sure. Actually,
And
probably
now it's
screaming.
2.
That's 2. But I gotta say though, PGL been doing a great job. And for you guys at home, if you're not if you're watching on Twitch, which I think most of you are, I'm looking at the HLTV page here and I can see 10 times the numbers on Twitch. Well, you're crazy. Personally, I would go to Twitch as well normally. However, what you probably don't know is that the YouTube stream is in not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4K, 60 FPS. Now, even if you don't have a 4K monitor, you can see the difference. So go and check that out. It is the smoothest thing. It somehow, Tom, it looks smoother than real life. It's smoother than his freshly shaved and oiled up head. It is a position that you definitely want to be in. So hop over to YouTube, open it up. Hell, have them side by side and see the difference because it is glorious in 4K 60 FPS. And only PGL are doing this. It's only on YouTube because Twitch doesn't allow that level of quality, because why would they, as the #1 streaming platform in the world? So, Tom, we are ready to go with Mirage in just a couple minutes. Now, how are you feeling about Huatsai versus Invictus? Because it's been back and forth, and you called 2-0 for Huatsai in a joking manner. However, they very nearly delivered.
Well, no matter what, here I'm wrong. So,
Yeah.
might as well just stick with it at this point. Honestly, like, they played very well the last time they played on Mirage, but I can't, like, sit here and try and even lie to myself that I think that they're going to play as well as they did last time. Like, they beat Tyloo, for God's sake. Like, that's not something I can ever expect to happen again. We also saw, like, an incredible performance from Neff, who has been pretty good today. Ronan was average, but there were a lot of very, very close rounds. Splash K also came out of the stocks and had a really good match as well, and they pretty much had everybody online. Now, that's something that Huatsai have not had throughout this tournament. Also, I think that was just one of those maps where Tyloo took their foot off the gas, and if we've learned anything from both Invictus and Tyloo is if they suck in one of the maps, they'll always smash their opponent on the third one. So I'm not feeling great for Huatsai here. The problem is, like, Invictus, even though they're definitely making it to playoffs, or almost definitely, they're going to be one of the teams that will probably get through to maybe the semifinals. I honestly just don't understand how. Like, I think if there were any sort of level of structured team facing off against them, I think they'll get destroyed. And realistically, it's just their individual skill that gets them through a lot of these matches. Unfortunately, that's mainly what Huatsai have as well, playing as more of a mixed team. Bottle, he's caught a man in a very audacious position, and the second player of Neff now doesn't have any support. Ronan has managed to find one, and so is Spiels, looking to try and get themselves through a pistol round. It's Flying and Viva, the deadly duo left alive, and Ronan, he's taken the fights versus both of them. And because of that, he's going to fall. It leaves Spiels in a 1-versus-1. He's not been playing fantastically today or throughout this tournament, but this would be one hell of a round to win.
And it would, a confidence booster for sure. Viva, well, he's been slow to start in each map. I think that's been the main problem. He's got a nice position towards CT. Now, for Spiels, knowing where this is planted, you're presuming it's either going to be Palace or CT. He goes up on top. He's clearing out Palace, doesn't see the player. Now he knows exactly where to focus up. He's going to fake this. He's going to get Viva to swing wide. It all comes down to this fight. But Viva, well, he's got the escapism. He's got to get away. Got to run into the corner so he can't be chased down. And it's won. It's done. And this is the round for Invictus to start it off. The question is, will Viva survive? Yes, he will. Eventually. It took maybe a couple mags, but they get there in the end.
Well, I didn't want that to happen again. We've already had one 38-second pistol battle.
I don't think anything could be as awkward as that one, I'll be honest. It was just ridiculous.
It's a bit of a weird one. Again, both we see them taking sort of individual duels, like Ronan getting right up in the face of his opponents. We are going to have the Force Spike coming in, and if I've learned anything from Asian Counter-Strike, it's that even if you win the first round, the second one is definitely not guaranteed. Splashk is going to round the corner onto Xiao Sage, and that's a freebie. First kill going their way, and on Viva going to trade one back. Splashk hoping for a little bit more, clearly feeling confident. Gonna re-smoke to give him that one-way angle over the top. I've spotted Viva up on short. Taking this battle is going to be tough, though. And Bottle, he has an AK. Now, the fact that he's alone makes me a bit uncomfortable. But Spiels is there. MP9, smoke in hand. If he throws this smoke, it's actually just going to give away his position. The element of surprise will be gone. But he still manages to get the kill onto Bottle. He is dead, though. They round the corner. Trade's coming back. Ronan hits another one with the Deeg. And well, they have to cross over to get into... Well, actually, they didn't have to cross over. I thought that maybe the bomb had dropped in that direction. Viva's still fighting. He wants to try and take these faces versus a low HP Deagle. And, well, he's going to connect 3 headshots. Not the smartest way to play it, but he wins the round nonetheless. And Invictus are going to take themselves a 2-0 lead.
It's a round that they really should have had. If anything, probably cleaner. But the upside is, coming into the next, they can build up that bit of extra cash. The question how you approach these kind of rounds is that the CT side, there's a lot of debate around what the best thing to do is. I like the firing squad in middle window, though. They've got Deagles to play with, the USPs as well. Obviously going to be decent enough when it comes down to supporting it if you've got the numbers to play with. And a boost in towards ladder room, but Bulbasaur's just being dropped. That leaves it into a 2 versus 5. I think Splashka wants to take the Deagle, but as he swings, he's dead, leaving just the one of Ronan Baby to do it all. And it's a difficult task. He finds one Deag at least. One more guarantees that they won't be getting a nice, comfy position economically, but he can't get it. And I think they'll just save this Mach 10, like as in continue to use it into the next round, which pretty much leaves their economy in a 1-round buffer. So if they lose a round, they can easily get a buy up for the next. I did like the approach, Tom, but I feel like they were a little bit too spread. Like, you've got 3 players in window, one guy pushes down below, one goes underpass. It's alright for the start of the round, but once they took contact on top mid, I expected them to start fully focusing. And yet, as players were challenging in window, there were 2 trying to boost up through ladder room and not engaging at all. It seems like you're just throwing away the numbers advantage, which is the whole thing that you want in a round like that.
Oh, this round's going to be Neff manning the AWP. Going to see some extra utility being expended. A bit further forward to try and take control of middle. Connect the smoked off, and Molly going to be falling onto short. A lot of space already gathered. Now, they have a Mach 10 on Xiaosage. The likelihood is, even though he's the man with the majority of the utility, he's going to be taking a riskier stance in this round. He's in the palace and potentially just going to try and jump out. The timing is not bad for Splashk, but he's only going to get one. Neff has not been dealt with. They tried to just ignore the man in the back lines, and now Bulbasaur's in a prime position. Xiaosage, in fact, was not the distraction. He was the final piece of the puzzle. And unfortunately, that piece didn't fit.
I do wonder, you know, for Invictus, a round like that, it's... hold on. They've gone for a Tech 9 and an UMP. That is a very low investment. Or very weak weapons, I suppose, coming out from them. I thought it was they were a little bit more secure. But evidently the damage done was enough, and I suppose without a bomb plant, that's the real kicker, right? It's how clean they get away with it. So when you look at Huatsai, this is their chance to get right back up there, to equalize 3-3. But now they're against the rifles. We'll see Invictus look for a very direct approach towards B. Tom, to me, this is a bit of a gamble. In a round like this, I'd rather go for middle control, so you leave your options open. You don't know how they're playing B. You don't know what their hold is, or what their rotations are like. And currently, they've got 1 short, 2 B, and 1 rotated through kitchen. They've got a clear read on what's going on. This is so dangerous from Invictus, and they might be punished in a round that matters quite a lot.
They've been sectioned off as well. Bottle, how? How's he managed to walk into the site and get a double opener? This is all going wrong for the CT side. It doesn't seem like they even know that there's still 2 players here, though. One of them should have been spotted, and Bulbasaur... Well, the smoke faded. He falls. Neff has managed to lurk his way through the peek out. And while he now has a chance, he needs to be the star in this match. But unfortunately, things just aren't quite working out for him, trying to dodge and weave around the pillar. It looks like Bottle wants to take the face, and he will, and he'll win it. They had a 4-man stack on that site when the push came in, and they still don't win the round.
It's rare, shall we say, to get that good of a read. I mean, outside of having Meccano Gun as your coach, you're probably not going to be knowing that kind of info every single round. And to then lose it is a real kick in the delicates. Because that should be one where you walk away with it cleanly, if anything. And they managed to isolate the fights one at a time, and that's the most depressing part of it. Okay, it was a good smoke execute through, but I mean, to not fall back to a position where you can play off each other, and then to get even less done when you have that third and fourth man that weren't spotted, it is upsetting, to say the least. Splash case shut down, shorts open. This is a clear B hit. But again, you've got the stack up there. Why did you do that, Tom? Why? Why would you QQ in that position? It makes no sense.
Oh dear, oh dear. They've got the stack right again, and this time, with the weaker weaponry, it seems to be working out a lot better. Xiao Sage and Flying trying to rectify things. Xiao Sage just runs into the site, and Flying a little bit further behind. Hwatsai can't do it with a 4-man stack with rifles, but give them the same options with some pistols, and that'll do just fine.
Again, it comes down to the info gathering, Tom. We're not seeing Invictus look for a slow round. Even against a weaker buy, they are coming in and saying, we're going B. And that is what they're doing. There is no room for flexibility in it. And even when they went for mid control, that short pick, it got them excited like Dinko in the morning. They knew what they were doing. They were focused up. They were going straight through for their task. But unfortunately, it was harder than they could have expected. With all those players in position, they just ran straight into the stack, and this is why I want to see them slow it down and take mid control. It's something that I've heard many people, Dinko will definitely tell you, sometimes slower is better in that regard, because you get to just control the pace, get the information, and make the right decisions.
Well, the T's are back to what is some AKs, Mac 10 and a Tech 9. It worked for them last time. We'll see if it works again. They've realized that Hwatsai have put heavier presence on B in the last few rounds, so the obvious choice is to now try and take a hit into A. But that's the one thing I'm liking about this Hwatsai CT side. Although it's not necessarily been perfect, they are adapting. They are switching things up. And I don't know if it'll be expected that there'll be a player in this close position. Xiao Sage, he's gone alone. Everybody else was much further behind. They've left him out to dry. Destroyer trying to peek out the palace, and Ronan, he wasn't spotted. He gets away with 2 before eventually being slaughtered. It's now left all onto Destroyer, who is that teammate that never quite makes it out of the palace. And while he's now trying his best to tap away, but he isn't going to find anything.
Yeah, unfortunately, he thought he was Prince Ali, but in the end, he got exposed. They wouldn't let him stay in the palace. It's a shame. Not like the ending of Aladdin. I don't know if you've watched that, but spoiler, it works out well. It's like all the Disney movies.
I can show you
Well, I'm gonna need that clipped and sent to me, please. Twitch chat. At Mitchman on Twitter. I need that exact voice clip of Tom. I will be installing it as a new ringtone.
Okay.
You think I'm joking?
I don't mind.
Just wait till someone calls me next time I'm around you.
That could be a while with the current circumstances, but
True.
I'll hold you to that.
Oh, well, in the current position, yeah, I feel like we're getting a tight, interesting game. Invictus sent a player pushing up through apps. He's being wrecked. I know I said take it slow. I didn't mean kind of go for the same strategy, but one at a time. I meant spread out, get some map control.
Yeah, you walk away, Bottle. You know what you've done. Oh, that's how you do it. See, Flying.
Living up to his name.
Bomb is alone on B in a smoke. And I'm hoping that doesn't continue. They are now, they're together in the smoke. Chance for a trade.
That's cute.
Ooh, Bulbasaur, you got to be careful. They're about to put the pressure on, flying in a good position, but obviously only with the Glock. And they're cleaning this up quite nicely. Bulbasaur does survive on just 1 HP, but it doesn't matter. He survived. That's the main thing. And Huatsai are going to take themselves the lead. Obviously, from what we've seen so far, both teams have been better on their CT sides, which, I'll be honest, to me, is incredibly surprising with the rosters that we currently have. But all I can really put it down to is that both teams are not very good at calling decisions. That's what this has to come down to for me. Because I think if you have a lot of strong individuals, if you just make simplistic calls, a lot of the time they're going to get you openers. But it's after plants where I think both these teams have been poor. And also just a lot of the time their general synergy. For Huatsai, very much forgivable. This is not a team that have been together for a long, long time. Whereas for Invictus, not so much. Spiels and Neff are going to get the opener. Now, Bulbasaur, it's almost become a trait that he will lose some pretty easy duels. But in this case, it's Zhao Sage, who decided to lurk around B with the bomb. Destroyer is going to run through a smoke and get himself a kill. As said, the bomb is currently in the hands of the CT side. So Splashgate is going to rotate to help out Mr. Bulb. And, well, they've got plenty of time. I guess that's what you can say for Invictus. Realistically, this shouldn't be possible. But at the same time, who even knows at this point?
Oh, well, a missed shot by Splashgate makes this a little bit easier for Invictus, but lack of map control really screws them over as flying just gets caught on the side. Bulbasaur, well, he's been confident today that he's going to pull back and make up for his performance yesterday. This is the player that almost broke the record of 0 for 18 on Dust 2, set by Masuda. He went 0 and 17, but with no flash assists or assists, which was the most impressive part.
I guess that means that we can call, we can make our own 0018 or 0017 as Bob. And it fits with Bean, Bond, and Bill.
So, Masuda didn't go 0018, he went 0118 and had 25 ADR. So he actually had more, when he had no kills, he had more ADR than Bobo did at the end of the game when he had 7 kills.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So it was definitely a worse performance.
Quick push coming in. It's going to be the Tech 9s. They've got to try and clear out Ronan, and they failed. They failed miserably. They get him in the end, but that was a very clean hold. Probably shouldn't have been, I'll be honest. Like, players surviving around that balcony in shadow, it's normally a mystery to me at least, but they weren't able to clear him, and it wasn't much of an investment as said. This is where Invictus are now going to purchase themselves up some wonderful rifles. Got an opportunity here to try and break back. The thing is, though, Huatsai have started to build up some pretty hefty amounts of cash. Well, looking like they're going back to... What? Oh, right, there's already a player up there. I was about to say, from his POV, that looked mental. Did Splashgate just try and fake out the sound into pallets? I think he ran through to then run back so that they don't think that Ronan's even here. The problem is, in the meantime, they've come pushing out. Bottle, well, that's the easiest kill of Splashk's life. And he's just looking to try and style on them. Now Neff comes in with the cross. Another for Splashk as well. And, well, Bulbasaur's there to clean things up. Ronan's flank ends up being meaningless. But even still, that looked way too easy for Huatsai.
He'd already found a kill. Why was Bottle just running out with his back turned to sight? And it seemed like nobody was looking at him. They knew there was an op there, but they're like, okay, let's find everybody before we start fighting. It's like they thought they were playing Rainbow Six Siege. This was the recon phase. They send out their little drones. They didn't realize they were actually running in with AKs.
Aggression on both sides of the map at the same time. Both AWPers. Ronan playing the re-aggressor, the trader in this case. Destroyer sat in a smoke. No surprises there. And why does Bulbasaur have no support? It's a peculiar play to make. Push coming in. Nice pre-fire. Splash K eventually gets the trade. He's actually going to stick around. He's going to get more aggressive. This is very, very bold. And he somehow still gets another kill. But ultimately, that should be around going in the opposition's favor. The footsteps are being heard. The window's been taken. Nice shot from Spiels, though. Destroyer's going to go down. He's trying to be the surprise. Ends up surprised. And Spiels going to make his way back into the window. Gonna fake the drop down. Fake it twice, in fact. What an elaborate ruse that's been. And it actually worked? Flying actually fell for that. It doesn't matter. Neff's gonna get the kill anyway, and now it's left all on to Viva. He's been one of the better players so far, the only man to hit double digits, and he's looking to go a little bit further. Has a flashbang to expend, leaves his opponent dead to rights, and Viva played that 1v2 perfectly, saving them from what would have been an embarrassing throwaway. More hot side, they've got the money, they've got plenty. In fact, Bulbasaur with 16k at the beginning of this round, but at this point, it more matters about getting those extra rounds on the board.
I would love, I think there's a whole show, instead of commentary, I think there's a whole show idea that we're missing, where round on round, you just get a panel of experts to predict who's going to win the round. And then we just watch them pull their hair out as they watch what they said and made sense completely fall apart. For example, in this round, a double op setup and they've not found a single kill. Ronan, baby, is now the last alive, 1 versus 5 to win. He takes down Zhao Sage. You cannot predict a round like this. This was full frontal aggression. Invictus went across the map. They had a line drawn. They followed that line and took every single kill along the way. In mid, in connector, on short, into apartments. This has just been a disaster of a hold for Huatsai. What do you think, though, Tom, of the panel idea? I think it'd be fun if a little cam down the bottom. And like you'd have Blair on that panel, and he'd be the only one that it's like everyone else is, you know, that like little meme of the room on fire and the guy drinking his tea. He's like, everything's fine. Like everyone else just running around going, what the hell? And he's like, yep, it's all right.
I think he would have to have like he'd have to be holding a whiskey.
Oh yeah,
well. just like swirling it a little bit, like giving it a sniff, and then just being like. Yeah, this is just another day in Asian Counter-Strike.
Yeah. So welcome to my world. He's like the villain in a movie. Just sat
I've
there
been
like,
expecting you.
now you know what I've felt all these years. The swirling. And has a little cat on his lap. He's just stroking it.
I've been 2 steps ahead of you the whole time. I knew they were going to push that smoke. They always push that smoke.
He's just stroking the cat on his lap and smiling. Dingo's doing the same. He hasn't got a cat.
And then he, dear Lord. But then he like opens up this little panel, and it was actually the whole time he had an anti-switch that actually just turns on everybody's W keys. Why do they keep forgetting that there's AWPers in this? Oh god. Somehow, his bottle gonna do it again. We saw him almost win a 1v4 earlier. It was a 1v3 that he... 1v4 that he lost to the 1v1. Now, 2 kills already. Try and get them an 8-7 half. Which, considering it was 8-4, that wouldn't be a bad situation to come back from. They're looking to try and peek this one together, but what? They missed the shot! Splash K, no! 12 HP. That's all he has, and he's going to nail him this time. Too close for comfort. That's the second time that's happened, but look at that streak of rounds. A pistol win, the conversion, and even an upset in round number 5. And since then, Invictus got just 2 rounds.
It's definitely been upsetting. I think if you're Invictus, you cannot be happy with the scoreline you've walked out of that half. And in fact, the early half served as a lifeline, if anything, as the buy rounds have looked good for Huatsai, which is not something I expected to say. And even if I said it, not something I expected to believe. It's, I'm quite impressed with what these guys have been able to do, but I do feel like it's way too much off the back of the likes of Ronan Baby and Neff in most of these games. But then we're seeing Splashkish, Spiels, Bulbasaur. These guys also have potential. I think this team just needs time to really gel. At the moment, they do appear like a mix. And, well, they're just getting wrecked on the run out, but there's the kill to flying that actually gets them the site. Bulbasaur, he's continued forward to take down Bottle, and with that, a 2v3 retake for Invictus Destroyer. He's trying to get it done. His teammate's coming behind. He just needs to distract and buy him a little bit of time. Viva's on his way, but he actually stopped. He completely stopped where he was and didn't push forward.
Well, the bomb has been planted. Star of Watsai facing off against one of the young talents within this Invictus roster. Hit's been found, smoke's been picked up. He tries to bait out the shots. Neff's gonna face him, and Viva! He must have painted a pretty picture of his head on the wall behind him. Watsai are gonna take the second pistol round. It was close, but Invictus can't quite get it through. I honestly think that in this series, we've witnessed more 5v3 losses than any other. Like, it's ridiculous how many times that seems to happen.
I think it's ridiculous how often a lot of things happen, Tom. In all honesty. 10-6, it's a boost for Watsai. They're already in the ground. Oh, they've not spotted him on the boost! Neff, he didn't have the peripheral vision on that one, and they've allowed for flying to just sneak away as well. He was sat over on top of the van, and he's wrecking them with the deagle. It's all down to Neff. He knows what's going on, but it doesn't matter. And Watsai fall victim to exactly what Invictus did. They come into a round like that where you're versus pistols, and they just have a strategy that they're going to stick to, and it's a fast play. And Tom, there's one thing I hate versus pistol buys, and that is fast plays, especially when you don't check all these cheeky little angles like a guy lurking over towards van or boosted up on the site.
I can throw you around.
And then force buy without a plan. Interesting. Very interesting approach.
Oh dear, that's the bomb down. Ronan is going to get one, and Neff, in the meantime, is lurking on A. Might get the kill onto Viva at least, that's something. Only a UMP, so picking it up won't really help him too much. They're going to face him together. 10-8, Watsai not going to get on the board for the next round at least, as they will only have some Glocks. Except maybe Ronan, who seems to buy Deagles in these rounds, even when they don't really have the cash to do so. Yeah, they've basically just thrown away their golden ticket. They had the chance to visit Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. And, yeah, well, I guess they ate it.
They ate the ticket. That's
Yeah.
Interesting play. Destroyer. Oh, there's the spray. All good. And he's not going to survive, but if they only lose one player, it won't be the end of the world. As you said, you know, that is a man who has accepted his fate. Don't mind me, I plant bomb. I know shoot. Unfortunately, he no plant bomb either.
Yeah, putting your hands up doesn't really work if you have a bomb in them. I surrender. Just don't look at my hands.
Yeah, never really a good play.
Oh, of course, that was just an eco. They actually didn't invest really anything at all into that, so just trying to make sure they have a good buy here. Neff has just like run through every piece of utility, and he's gone down to 22 HP because of it. Interesting play. quite sure the benefits of it, but, you know, clearly there's something I'm missing. Let's just say that. Ronan's trying to sneak into the connector. They currently have 1 smoke and 2 flashbangs left. Bulbasaur and Destroyer in a standoff. And Bulbasaur wins the standoff because Destroyer can't sit still. Nice shot from Viva, though. This AWP into play already, and he's styling on them. Ends up getting a 3rd kill, but Bulbasaur's come in from behind. Gotta be okay, maybe Xiao Sage seeing the feet, I would assume. I hope so, otherwise that's suspect. And then Ronan, baby, does the same back to him. Facing off against Flying, and oh, not quite there with the spray control. Flying will convert the round. Again, having one of his rougher matches, but winning them a crucial one. And now, well, we can see a bit of investment into pistols for Huatsai, but again, it can't be a full buy.
I do feel for Huatsai, and it's one small mistake going into that second round, and it cost them everything. The lead that they had, what would have been improved lead as well, and the potential to close this series out. Invictus, they came back and won the previous map. Now they're close to taking the lead. They are up against pistols, but an opening duel traded back, an M4 retrieved. I mean, it's not the worst start for them. A head peek for Splash K, so even the lack of armor doesn't really matter. Why is the bomb going A?
The bomb's going A, and that's the you don't have A, Bulbasaur. Oh.
Why are they not moving faster through CT? Oh my god.
Why? You had B! This isn't the... You guys go A, I go...
That was stupid. That was just straight up stupid. That makes literally no sense. You just safe rotate through T-spawn. They've lost the round now because of it. That was a 1 round. It was a 3 versus 2. It was an easy bomb plant. It's just ridiculous. Whoever's called that needs to get their head examined. Call a pause right now and just shout at them. What a joke.
Everything up until that point went so well. Like, it just... Like, I kind of understand the logic of... You would have thought everyone's rotated at that point. Like, that's the reasoning behind it. But you had B control completely. So it's not even like you needed to take that gamble. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, Viva. I needed to land that shot, that's for sure. And... What? Why?
The CTs push them one by one. Hurrah. Hurrah. Destroyer is dead as well. Hurrah. Hurrah. And Neff's going underpass again, and it looks like he might be finding himself an ace in this one. Flying the player looking to stop him, and he can't. Neff aces the round. Huatsai, well, they've pulled back into that one. Obviously upset at their absolutely atrocious decision making.
Imagine acing the round without having to leave mid.
Yeah.
That's what we've just witnessed. The furthest he went was connector.
It's just silly.
This is the furthest point. The stairs. He never made it to the site, and he got an ace, and it wasn't an eco. I can't. I'm like, this is stressing me out now. Those are 2 of the worst rounds back to back I've ever seen.
Yeah. Brain dead from Huatsai. Brain dead from Invictus. And now we've got the CT side just on pistols. Got a scout. Nothing really going their way. A kill here or there. It's a 2v3. Okay, low HP on Splash Kid. It's doable with the bomb down in the open. That's the main thing. But the peek up on top of the stairs screws them. They know where Flying is. They heard him spraying away. They know there was 2 players here. They've got him boxed in. Yeah, good read by him on the positions they were holding, but it doesn't matter. Huatsai retake the lead, 12-11.
I'm gonna start a new campaign. So we had the save Urcast campaign, we get the Save Neff campaign. It's like, he's a decent Counter-Strike player. Ronan's got decent aim. And the rest. It's actually going to be another pistol round. And flying... Okay. He's dead. That's the bomb as well, so that could have been a hugely impactful kill if he'd found it. Bottle has managed to deny for quite a long time. It's allowed for a bit of a rotation. Stop fighting this! You have the bomb! Why does he not just push the site? He's now made... It's the same situation again, where Bulbasaur's put them in a spot where they can genuinely lose this round. Because he's taking battles in positions he doesn't need to. This is now a position where Viva's managed to retrieve himself a rifle. Neff's had to save the day again and give them a path onto the site. But he's hesitated. And rather than jumping into the window, he changed his mind and went for the battle and connector instead! Oh my god, I can't be
loving this.
I can't be bothered. He's the worst player. He is the worst player in this whole league.
I'm really enjoying...
He's thrown 2 rounds. He's actually thrown 2 rounds.
I'm really enjoying watching Tom just lose his mind.
Check him. Check this man. See if there's money going into his accounts. Because this is a joke.
Well, Tom, I have to say, myself and Blau were wondering, at what point were you going to completely lose your mind? You know, you're the new guy in. We all suffered through Pal Summer. We all saw this happen. And you thought we were joking. You thought we were messing around. Well, this is what we're here for. I don't think it's anything malicious. I think some of these players are genuinely just...
I just don't
unaware
get it. That's
of how
all it
Counter-Strike
is.
works.
They would have won this game by now. If in the decisions he made in the last few rounds, like if he just didn't do them. I don't get it.
I would love to have a little series where we sit down with some players and just go through their plays and say, please, like genuinely, please explain what you're doing.
Like he could have got the bomb down on B, then he goes to go window, and I don't know if he missed a jump or what, but he changes his mind going window and delays enough time that Viva comes in through short. Like, he lost that round in 2 different positions. It's mental. And then they've won the next one straight back. I think there should be a rule within this team where Bulbasaur's not allowed to have the bomb. Like, just, he's not allowed to have it. Because otherwise, like, the plays he's making, if you remove the bomb, they're not great, but they're not awful. But there have now been 2 individual rounds where he's made a decision while holding the bomb that has lost them the round. And that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable from a professional team. That's just unacceptable, definitely from a team at a $100,000 tournament. The worst thing is they're winning. Like, they're winning versus Invictus, who should be easily winning the series. I haven't won a series yet. They are 0-7, and they are literally throwing away rounds, and they are still in the lead. It's unreal. They're going to push into a stack here. Every player, Spiels has got the opener. There's still 2 players, one in Ninja. Destroyer's going to get 2 kills. He's still in this corner. They're eventually going to clear him out. Invictus, not a bad idea.
Good execution.
I think I'm going to need therapy.
I think Blad feels he's been doing this for years. But no, I've come up with a better idea, Tom, for the show. Right, we get a panel of experts, and what they do is they have a slider in front of them, and
do you know what I want? I want Orca to do a breakdown video of the 2 rounds that Bulbasaur lost. Because Hawker is probably the calmest person I've ever met. Like, he starts off his videos by saying, like, oi oi Savaloy or something. I don't remember.
It's your boy, Hawker.
That's it. Oi oi, it's your boy. Like,
Savaloy.
Oh yeah, Savoy. That's like it's a type of sausage.
All right, okay. Let's see, British thing.
Yeah.
But no, my idea, right? You have this panel of experts. They're watching the game. They've got a slider in front of them, and as the round goes on, it's not the map. It's just round by round. They have to use the slider to show the percentage they think that a team will win. So it's like a tug of war thing, right? And so they put it over in one favor because I want to see them like going left, right, non-stop and around. Be like, well, they have to win now. Oh no, never mind. They have to. No, never mind. They have to win.
Do you know what I want?
And then I want Blair to just be sat there on 50-50, and he's just like, I don't fucking know, lads. Like it's impossible. Like there's no way to judge this. But Blair, it's a 1v5. No, I'm not falling for that. No. But Blair, he's got 1 HP. No, I don't care. 50-50.
I would also like next to that, like one of those meters that like, you know, does pressure where it goes like red at the end. And that's the anger meter. And when it gets to the end, it just starts steaming like...
Well, no, what you do is you get them blood pressure monitors as well. And it's just like, after the second round, everyone's on max. It's like...
Well, here we go. They've run through a Molotov. They've got an entry kill, Destroyer. He's still holding the line. Bulbasaur wasn't prepared for him. And Invictus are bringing this back. Nevs have got 32 kills at this point.
I know what's happened there, Tom. There was an issue with if we swap to the T side for a second, if we just look at them, you'll see a lot of them have got schmogs on. So when I was in Egypt, this happened a lot. We were going on quad bikes through the desert, and the schmog, sometimes the top of it, if you haven't tied it tight enough, it falls down and it'll block your vision. I reckon that's what's happened to them there. Because no one looked at Destroyer. Maybe
they're like wearing their face masks for obvious reasons. You don't want to catch anything. That would be silly. And they're wearing glasses and they breathed and it steamed them up.
True.
Either way, Neff is... Okay, like we've been joking a lot in this match. Neff has been unreal. Like he's on his 33rd kill. And I imagine a lot of them, I'm sure Blair will probably have this stat at the end because he loves his entry frag stats. I imagine a lot of them are entry frags. He deserves the win. He's the only person in this server that deserves the win. Because he has been great. I genuinely hope he finds a better team. I like him a lot. And yeah, he deserves the victory here. He definitely deserves one in this tournament with the way he's been playing. I don't think it's fair. I think, to an extent, Ronan deserves a win in this tournament as well. After losing a map with 38 kills, I would say he deserves a win. And they are now 15 and 14. They need just one round to get us out of this hellhole.
Can I just point out that the strategy they went for, the one player they lost, was Spiels and Bulbasaur went for trades on short. Yeah, and the strategy was genuinely that Spiels went, I'm going to jump through this smoke, and you run through and trade me. And it worked out. And that was seconds away from disaster. I don't know if you've ever seen that TV show, but it could have appeared on that for sure. Luckily,
that's what I would call this map.
That's what I call this region.
15-14. It is an A setup. Now, Destroyer is in the same place as last time. In theory, they should know he's here. That is in theory. Smoke's going to be falling. He's going to be hiding within one. It helps him avoid the Molotov, and he's going to get the opener. Looking for a little bit more, but Splash K has found the trade. Sage is already on the flank. They're taking too long. They're not going to realize that he's here. He should get a multi-frag. Oh, it's a bit dicey. It does so much damage, but they're still standing, and it's left on to Viva. They've won a series. Hotsai have managed to get some points. It is a miracle. And the match is over. Oh, even better. Oh, I can feel my heart rate slowing down a little bit.
Oh. They did it. They did it, boys. We are proud of you. They got a map win versus Invictus, who, I mean, they've got to be upset about that one. Oh. That's a disgrace. And I mean, we've been talking about Invictus. We've been saying how they've just played terribly. And, well, this just exemplifies it. Hotsai with their first win of Palfall. They're not going to go out with 0 on the board. I am happy to see Neff and Ronan, baby, get those wins. And I know that Blah and Dinko have got to be happy as well. Look at Blair. That man he's ecstatic right now. Blair, what a
Tears
fun
of joy.
map it was to watch.
Tears of joy. Like
Such
no,
clean
honestly,
Counter-Strike from start to finish.
Look, screw you, bitch. That was. Oh my god! It's like, who was worse? It's so hard. How did I win that after throwing so many rounds?
It was terrible from Bulbasaur. What is that guy?
Save Neff. Save
yeah,
Neff.
exactly.
He's good. He's
Save
solid.
Neff, yeah.
Everyone else on the team are brain dead. Like literally.
Ronan, baby.
I mean,
whoa,
this
whoa.
is double-digit
Come on,
IQ
Mitch.
Counter-Strike.
He's probably one of the
Double-digit, and no, that's not average IQ.
I'm
That
glad it's just not me.
Oh my
I'm
God.
genuinely, my eyes are watering. That's how upset I am.
How
with this
did
game.
how did Invictus lose to, well, basically 4 bots and a good Counter-Strike player? How?
All right, Ronan Baby's not a bot.
When I say
Let's-
bots, I mean like you have those Valve
The
expert
decision
bots
mate,
who can
yeah.
aim
Ronan's-
really fast. They're
Ronan's on
sharp.
super export mode, right? But it's like,
Yeah, he's one of those.
he's like,
aimbot bots.
yeah, exactly. His decision making is terrible. He needs to definitely work on that. I'm sure if there's a player out
Hey,
there.
he's 17.
Exactly,
I can forgive
that's
him.
forgivable. But the rest of the team, what the hell?
Bulbasaur, they played
especially.
minors, man. They played Asian minors. They qualified with DreamHack Masters. I mean, Jesus Christ, what did you learn from that?
Yeah, it's not a lot going right for Whiteside. We
This
can see
round made me so upset as well.
Yeah, we can see why they're bottom of the table.
Display.
For sure.
Display. What are you doing?
Nice
Yeah, you
shot
can see
from
why
them.
this team are bottom of the table, right? It's pretty evident coming into this match, but again, Invictus, they lost to them. That kind of just proves how bad Invictus are right now. Where they're at, it's unbelievable how much this team has fallen. Grand finalists last time around, this time losing to Whiteside at the bottom of the table. This is kind of ridiculous.
Tom, it's hard to really look at positives here because, okay, on the other side, on the other hand, all sarcasm aside, we're happy for Whiteside. Well, you know what? Screw everyone else. I'm happy for Neff. I'm happy for Neff. There we go. Yeah. We're happy for Neff. Kind of for Ronan as well, considering how hard he carried them a few games in the past. I'm happy for them, but we kind of know they're the weakest team in this tournament, right? Like they have the firepower. We've been able to glean what's good over here. This team's not going to last. Like there's no way they can continue to play Counter-Strike like this and hoping to be a top 6, top 7. They're not even a top 9 team in this tournament. Just let that sink in.
ADR.
However, Invictus, Tom, what the... I don't have a beat button, but yeah, what the expletive is going on here? What is wrong with them? How have they sunk so far down? I know they've qualified, pretty much qualified to kind of safe, but this is just a terrible show.
I kind of look at that and go like, Bulbasaur really tried his best to give them the match, and they just wouldn't take it. Like they didn't want it. They clearly didn't want that victory. I genuinely have no words to describe how upset the 2 rounds that he lost his team made me. Those are the 2 worst plays. Tom.
It sounded like you were going to cry.
I just don't understand. I never will, because there is no
His eyes
amount
are actually watery. If you're watching on YouTube in 4K, you can actually see the tears.
I am annoyed. I am very unhappy with what we have just witnessed. But then there were just rounds that were even worse coming out from. Well, no, they weren't worse. Okay, I can't give them that.
There is no rounds
but
that are worse.
just equally as bad. Like they would just make ridiculous plays. I don't know if they were just overly cocky, and that seems to be potentially what it was. That in other matches they've been that cocky and got away with it, but they deserved to lose that game, and they did.
Yeah, well, I feel like that game just set back Asian Counter-Strike by 2 more years, ladies and gentlemen. But hopefully, the next game will probably kind of revert that particular change. I do believe we have... What's the next game over here? I think we have After Gaming play. Oh, no. I take that back. That's why I set it back a little further. But it's going to be Beyond, battling for life. This is a must-win game for Beyond. And you know what? Even for After Gaming, they've been showing a little bit of resurgence of late, a couple of upsets going the way. And right now, these 2 teams are going to be battling in, I believe, a must-win game to see which team is going to make it to the playoffs. That's going to be coming up after a very short break. If you guys enjoyed the wildness, the insanity, the absolute ludicrousness that is Asian Counter-Strike,
lie down.
You're in for a treat. We'll be back after a break.
Coming up next.